hurry, hurry, time to get up. Are you ready for adventure? Time for some fun. There is so much to see, come along with me, cause I'd hate to have to leave you behind. Diving deep into the waters, racing through fire. It may seem a little scary, but we'll be fine. Every day is a mystery, every second brings a surprise. So let's explore and start making memories. Throw a ball, don't stop till we catch them all. 1, 2, 3, jumping right in. Get ready, our journey's about to begin. The future's in our pockets. Change it up, do something new. We're going out to make a friend or two. Don't hesitate, there's no need to hide. Try, let's have a fight. 1, know that our battle is done. 2, we're laughing, crying under the sun. All 3 will be the best of us. Any day, every day is the way that I play. It's a rule so tried and true. So let's not wait around, so much to be found. Go out and explore a new world awaits. Let's go. There might be times to stumble and fall. Let's go. But I know we can get through it all. Best believe I will always choose you.
Dearest, you in the flow, fighting ever alone. Come with me where eternity waits. To the spiral of hope that precedes the coming day. My feelings, they were nothing more than excuses. Chilling fear built out of hate, but the future waiting. In the dark I believe was the power to seize my fate. I hate how I hate, casting shadows that darken the way. In a haze that kills me. Sail far out this gate. The pedals sway, the pedals sway, connecting hearts that carry on to the pain. They take away, collecting scars from hurt I couldn't erase. There is you in the flow, fighting ever alone. Come with me where eternity waits. To the spiral of hope that precedes the coming day.
また夢から覚める濡れたままとあげる苦しいほど思い残す遠い日の無力さを乗ろう秒に帰れるような絶望も糧にはなろうか憧れに焦がれるまま燃やし続けているキラキラをさま色したあなたのアイスから乾いてかわいそうなラックファイそれでよくどくからすく眩しい光僕にだけ落ちる影あなたのせい致命的な欠落をくれたね身勝手な虚勢狂わされたせいお願い声を聞かせて声を聞かせて絡まって歪んでしまった傷それたのはあなただけあなただけあなただけあなただけお願い僕を見ていて僕を見ていて宿命に刻まれた痛みさえ武器にしていつかの後悔さ照らせるようにあなたがいないと生きていけない何もかも支えてしまってもいいあなたの愛がまだ足らないかけたものは何で埋めたらいい締めてく締めてく締めてくない埋めてく埋めてく埋めてくない着せて着せて着せてくない僕を見ていてね最愛のファタル覚め出していてる
You don't want Mark Month. Your points were giving willingly. We were there for cupcakes. Obey or be timed. So YouTube had a recent update in terms of their security, and because of that, for some reason, customized chats don't work at the moment. Yeah, because it's increased security bush.
But how does that affect?
Hell
How exactly does that affect? What security risk could a chat plugin pose?
It's more so
We're not doing that yet. See,
the chat where the customized I use changes. You're not gonna understand this, but it changes the inner HTML of the code, and that's what they're trying to prevent.
Classic, of course.
It makes sense.
I do that when I don't know if people accept that it's just like, oh, he's just bullshit, or it's just trying to be nice, or they're just like, oh yeah, he understands. Because people be talking to me about League of Legends at work.
Oh no.
And they're like, yeah, I gotta go run here and do that. I'm just like, yeah. Oh dang, that sounds hard. How many people? And it's just that basic, I'm not listening. I'm just waiting to hear. Let's not start there. I'm just waiting to hear the last thing, the last sentence that they say, and then respond to that.
Yeah, or even just regurgitate their regurgitate their sentence back to them. What was it? Watch Watch Mark's giant Naruto review, cowards. Thank you for the super chat, Nami the GOAT. No.
One day it will be thrust upon us.
Somehow. Viewer request month is coming very soon, y'all. I can actually switch this to live chat now instead of.
But if that's the case, since he goes through every single Naruto arc, it might as well be that comboed into the because reasons for Naruto.
Which isn't the next because reasons, so. Which isn't the next two because reasons, so you're probably looking at like
potentially
March.
Because these mothers they just gonna vote it in.
If I had a nickel for every time someone said that My Hero Academia is...
It's only 6 hours.
Don't say only! Like that's a acceptable number? Like, what are we doing here? Also, let me make sure this configuration is globally cooled down. Yep. If I had a nickel for every time someone said that My Hero Academia ending was great, I'd be a millionaire.
There is a slew of people who are about that life.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Hey, bums. Time to see some terrible My Hero Academia defenses.
Yeah,
yo,
boy.
Jay. Yo, everyone. I just started watching Alia. Sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. So far, I like it.
Yeah, I've seen that getting a lot of buzz.
Okay.
Seems interesting.
I only watched the first 2 episodes. Like it so far, though. Okay. Oh no, is this My Hero Academia ending glaze? Prepare for the shield?
Of course it is. That's what we're here for.
It's gonna be theme shields.
Because that's what they got.
Oh, I don't know if I said it. Thank you for the super chat. Nami to go. Full circle means 10 out of 10. Did anyone see Trigger's Jujutsu Kaisen video? I'm hearing a lot of things about it.
Nothing to do with us.
Let's go more My Hero Academia rant.
That's what we're here for.
BG, I am at chapter 194 of Slam Dunk, and I am loving it so far. Now I can never go back to Kuroko's basketball.
Yeah, because there's just no comparison, right?
Correct.
In the correct way that we all understand.
That's correct.
Correct.
Slam Dunk is such a good manga. I wish more people would read it. And it's really weird because, you know, it's an older manga. It was scantilated really badly. And
JoJo issue.
Yeah, and it's just never been updated by anybody. So at least JoJo's, they get the color manga, so now people can get back to it. But it's just never been.
Really? You think somebody would pick that up?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It embodies everything that Horikoshi has done, so therefore ending good.
Full circle themes.
For some reason, I'm gonna do a stream after this stream just to fix this one bot
The Almighty
because for
Jew
some reason it
Hansen
has
says,
a weird
Platinum
exception.
End coming soon.
Yes.
Platinum End because reasons is coming probably next year. Do anybody else hear overlaps in voices? There shouldn't have been. Just in time. I wouldn't be surprised if the videos were just glazed. That's honestly what I'm expecting from these videos. Just in time. I wouldn't be surprised if the videos.
Oh, sounds good.
I think it was during the music. Maybe there were several people. My Hero Academia's ending was peak and nobody understands. Thematically iconic. High bone. The themes are perfect. While YouTube makes a bad update, who would have thought?
I forgot about themes.
Rip Susan. Oh yeah, that was big rip. That's crazy. Right after her kid.
One really quick.
You could if you wanted. Why does YouTube keep changing? This one I sincerely believe it's to prevent ad blockers. And it's gonna be a way to do that.
I can make a themes emote in 5 minutes. Would y'all be willing to wait, or do we just want to get into this?
And first video we see. League of Legends is fun as DA. My Hero Academia.
Sure. I'm not saying it ain't. I'm just saying I don't understand it because I'm stupid and there's a
Yvonne
lot
Mary
going
says,
on.
Is this the worst ending ever? Video.
Oh, that's the one.
Or boy.
Hey DAVG, My Hero Academia was thematically iconic to where the themes match the themes. Mina has the best design, so I'm happy. She's awesome. I like the Alia anime, thematic stream. Time for meat riding, Eagle Spear. Respect on Eagle Eye. Just started watching Lego Monkey Kid. It's good and a lot of fun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get these two of these, unfortunately. Oh, my bad, y'all. I mistook this for the Danny Brown podcast. Eagle Spear scam.
Never forget.
YouTube let EDP back on YouTube. Oh, no, what? There's no way EDP's back.
Yeah,
Always turn all those annoying ass settings off. I hope they let you at least turn the stuff off that you don't want. That would be great, but you know how it goes. Did y'all see those Netflix leaks? Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. Now I'm gonna go crazy
Somebody
bar.
is gonna get it.
Yeah, somebody's done. Somebody is done over there, and it's unfortunate. You're gonna lose your job, but you're gonna lose your job. People are saying, wait.
I probably should have just ran as you were finishing up the call outs and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have something to...
I mean, I gotta call their names out, so that's about 2-3 minutes.
Check out a Mark video or T23 in the
Sebastian
meantime.
says, today was wild. Susan died. One Piece Day live stream started, and so many new move shit like bro.
Yeah, it's so crazy how the news cycle just moves in the internet and the actual news and stuff. Because let's not forget, a presidential candidate was shot at like 3 weeks ago, and nobody gives a nobody. Priscilla, I have been keeping up with all the MrBeast drama. It's crazy. We've been talking about it in the Discord. So when the first video came out, it felt a lot like just a disgruntled employee being disgruntled, especially if what the response was true, was that he didn't work there for very long. So having all those inner workings and things just kind of felt off, and I had noted as much when I watched the first video. But the second video and then the subsequent information that's come out, oh my god, it's cooked. It's cooked. Now, a lot of people, even the dog dude, said, you know, you pee in public, you might end up on a sex offender list, and that's just the way things go sometimes. You can get off of that, blah, 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 blah. But the guy that MrBeast, his company, employed, that he knew about, that had a sit-down talk with Jimmy and his mom, knew about it, and it's still just like, yeah, you can work for us. Crazy. People have been saying he was 16, but 16 and 11 years old is not a good age range. I'm sorry. That's cooked. Delaware is finished. We're trying to get the record expunged. Did he do this? If he did the record, it happened. Crazy. EDP's new channel is called Big Cheese. There's no... Maybe it's one of those things where YouTube doesn't recognize that it's a ban evader. So they're not really looking for EDP necessarily to try to get him out of here. Pull up last month 21 crazy bars. Absolutely not. Mark Naruto video? Absolutely not. Alright, call out the names. DA should be back by the time I'm done. What's up, Gabo, Hope, Carlo, Jay is gay, Valstrax, Dutch, Nami the Goat, Jay, regular Jay, non-rest of name Jay, Sebastian, Hi, Gaming and Virage? I always mispronounce that. And I can't just say gaming because there's other people with gaming. But Robot Lady says it right. I gotta listen to Robot Lady more. C, Blaze, Already said Sebastian. Victory Greymon. MF Chris. Priscilla. Gamer. See, Gamer Gaming, that's just gonna be JDX the Kid. Ivana. Do Hansen. Chris the Chill. Dat. I think we're all
MF Chris
caught up.
says, crazy how they are trying to take down Dogpack video about MrBeast, but they failed miserably and commentary channels are getting worse for using this drama.
There's one channel that is just doing nothing but like, hey, MrBeast, I was right. And it's just like day after day after day. That's the channel I don't watch. But the other people that are kind of looking into it, trying to figure things out, like Legal Eagle, I really like the Legal Eagle's video on it. Yeah, it's crazy. Cameron, Joshua, that's everybody. I'm not naming any other names. You came in late. Are you not hungry for salad, BG? I could go for a salad, actually. That sounds pretty good. You might have just picked out my dinner. What's up, bums? I knew that Dogpack's video would start out with small claims, then would evolve into holy fuck. And there's people that have issue with that. They want constant streams of big bombshell in order to keep their attention. And I'm not necessarily for that. You look at something like H Bomber Guy's video on plagiarism. It's a really light version of plagiarism and then a harder version of it and a harder version. The issue is they might not find the guy that was talking entertaining enough to keep their attention. But that's an issue of the Arthur. No, the
Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say Arthur. Reload the page and get the theme emote.
Thank God Kagurabachi saved me from mid-hero academia. No, is Kagurabachi legit?
That I'm hearing that it's pretty good.
Is it legit pretty good, or have y'all been Stockholm syndrome me? Have y'all gaslit yourselves into thinking it's good? Cause it was getting memed so hard. Dan da dun. Yeah, that's one I'm gonna read.
Yeah, I've got that downloaded.
All right, so is it the worst ending? Is the first video? We've already gone through that. DA had to quickly add a new emote,
And I did.
he needed it with all of his
We
heart.
need it, because that's all they're going to be talking about.
Yep. Don't need mouse clicks, but we will take the mouse cursor.
The real answer is I figured it'd sit around there.
We are talking about is this the worst ending ever? By IXTizzy, or is it 9Tizzy? Because we did a video on him, and I remember asking this before. Scam theme scam. And there's no real description. Is this the worst ending ever? With a bunch of hashtags. So let's just get into it.
Nami the Goat says, Kagurabachi Sakamoto Days and Dan Da Dan are the new big three.
Sakamoto Days is mush. Sakamoto Days is mush.
Got that downloaded.
So, My Hero Academia's final chapter has just come out, concluding one of the greatest shonen series of all time.
Pause. Read your second shonen, sir. Follow up with another series.
I mean, if you read 4, it's still one of the greatest. He never said the great, it's just one of the greatest.
That's crazy. It is absolutely not.
Of all the, I'm not talking shonen in terms of the age, I'm talking just Jump. Of all the Jump titles I've read, this would not be in the top 10, let alone one of the greatest.
Bleach, JJK, this is on their channel.
Yeah.
Bleach, JJK, Boruto, One Piece. That's all I'm seeing.
Crazy bars.
Oh, Demon Slayer. Terribly sorry.
It's my demon time.
So if you want to talk about, though, just the biggest buff in shonen, like you said, I guess if there are 5 things, it is technically one of the best.
Yes! What's up,
And
Anon
the
Gaming?
internet is on fire over it, and let's just say, not in a good way. Majority of the
Angel
reception
Essence Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Spirit Saiyan Goku, Primal Instinct Goku.
Spirit Saiyan go. Sup, time to watch more videos on the really greatest hero with the friends we made along the way.
That is the ending
for the super chat. Yeah,
It really is.
technically the friends we made along the way.
Sucks.
for this chapter has been negative. People absolutely hate this chapter. They hate the conclusion. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of people.
Naruto in the background, Bleach. I think that's another
The
Naruto.
tattoo is, I don't know why it's irritating.
It is. It's just it's the only tattoo that he has, and it's in a very eye-popping place. And it's not even like really unique or anything.
Absolutely hate this chapter. They hate the conclusion. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of people say that this is the worst ending in all of manga history.
Right here, baby. Not counting Fire Force, baby.
It's amongst the worst. I would be hard pressed to find two worse ones. Hard pressed.
It's
arguable worse.
Fire Force is there, but I
Dwight-
have to reread it
Get outta
in
here.
order to understand it.
Yes.
But this right here, this is gonna stick with me. And that one was just like, man, whatever. In God fighting Fire Devil and he's merged with his mama and his bro, whatever. That's all that was. But here I'm just like, nothing happened. What did we do here? Why are we here?
Maybe Naruto and Fairy Tail is up there though.
Get out of here, Dwight Race. That's in a couple weeks that we're doing the field.
So, is the chapter really that bad? Did Horikoshi completely fumble the My Hero Academia ending? Let's talk about it. So, after hearing how
I don't see how you.
T-Rex
I kind of want to speed him
525
up a little.
says, how much of the Class 1A cast could have been cut entirely and nothing is affected?
Half.
At least half. At least.
If we're Thanos snapping, half.
I feel like you could have gotten away with 8. I'm saying more than half. At the very least, 10 of the most could be gone. Oh no, Dwight! We're just gonna be cooking it!
how terrible this chapter was. How it was the worst conclusion in all of manga. I decided to read the chapter myself and see.
What a big undertaking! I took the trial up the mountains to read. No, you're a fan of it. You think it's one of the best, so of course you're gonna read it.
Hey.
Just slyly, silently, speed them up.
Really as bad as people saying? And you guys want to know the truth? It is not. It is nowhere close to as bad as people are making it out to be.
So you're saying that people are saying that it's one of the worst. What have you read to compare it to? What other series have ended that you've read that you can just say, this is worse, this is worse? Because you're going, it's one of the best of all time, but you must have something to compare to by it not being the worst of all time.
Yeah. Oh no, hope. Would it not be in my top 15? Because that's a lot that I'm like,
In fact, I think that this is a great ending.
Yeah, you do. Of course you do. You have to.
No, you don't. We know.
No, you have to. You're a fan of My Hero, so of course you will think that it's one of the best endings. Cause it's thematically blah 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 in Deku next whatever you're gonna say. There's all this other stuff where it's not the best, and you're not gonna be talking about that.
Oh, see, anime-wise, I think you're still in
you're still in
My Hero Academia is doing some
Now, I do have my own issues and problems with the ending that I will get into later, but let's just go over the things that people supposedly hate
Chris
the
the
most
Chilled
about
says,
this chapter.
"Explain
However, before
yourself.
we get into
Best
that, let's just
friend."
take a very quick recap of this chapter, just in case if you haven't read it or if you're not caught up with the series.
Why
So
would
the
you
chapter
be
starts off
here
with-
if you had not read it?
that's
it's the
crazy.
discourse.
Deku narrating the same thing he said back in the very first chapter of My Hero Academia. He says, people are not born equal. Individually, we all look different. However, our differences, both physical and mental,
You don't have
allow us
to
run
read
towards
what's
other
going
people
on.
in search of
Summarize it.
common
Don't just say what the month is saying. That's not how you do this. We can read it on the page.
ground. So Deku is basically saying that despite the differences, people are still able to relate
Okay,
to one
so
another.
you're gonna read it and then you're gonna summarize what it is.
No, he read it and then switched the order of the words of what Deku just said. Deku says we're different from each other because we're all born differently.
Gaming
Well, what
Endurance
Deku's
says,
saying is different
Synopsis,
people.
baby, yeah.
It's not even
we never left.
it's double synopsis, kinda.
Rosa Parks was born in Alabama in 1925. In 1925, Rosa Parks was born in Alabama. It's like
In the city of Alabama. No.
Come on now.
Other and find common ground with one another. We then see a montage of all the moments after the war arc, and in that montage we see that Deku is slowly losing the embers of One for All until he completely loses it.
Good
And then after that we get an 8-year time skip where we see a character named Dai who aspires to be a hero the same as Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, but he thinks he's not strong enough to be a hero, kind of like how Deku was in the beginning.
No,
We then
it's not kind of like how Deku was in the beginning, because he has a quirk.
Yes.
If he
has the
applies
powers.
himself, he can do what it needs to be done. On the surface, Mineta's quirk is trash, but he got into UA. A guy with a tail and knows karate got into UA.
Let's stop with the bush.
Come on now.
see that Deku is now a teacher.
You can control plates from your head. Deku's like, maybe you can grow them, maybe you can stack them to grow your strength. You're not applying yourself. Just like Deku wasn't applying himself in the beginning. Because he was just like, can I be a hero? Not taking any martial arts class, not training to be a firefighter, nothing, not doing anything, but waiting for somebody to hand him something. And it's just like what's happening here. At the very end, he's like, he clearly still has the drive to want to be a hero, because once it's just like suit up, he's right out there. But what is he doing to be a hero? Nothing. No martial arts training, no nothing. But once it's time to somebody to hand him something, he's just like, all right, yeah, let's go.
What is Miracle's quirk?
Rabbit. Just like Frog.
At UA since he's quirkless, and he tells Aizawa that even though he's quirkless, he can use his experience to guide others.
What
You see that-
experience?
He was a hero for like 8 months.
He was a provisional hero for like 8 months. He went on maybe 3 actual hero missions. What can he say other than punch? What and his analytical skills, analytical skills or whatever. But that was there before his experience. He doesn't have really any real experience, because who did he fight? Shigaraki was just like, well, I just gotta punch him and avoid me getting touched. It's like, Mr. Deku, how do I fight a fire hero?
Do you have a big punch that can blow it away?
No.
that Bakugo and Todoroki have now become top
cooked,
heroes,
idiot.
competing for the #1 spot, along with other pro heroes. We see Uravity, Ingenium, Froppy, and Momo starting their own companies.
Why did you
That
give
they
them-
didn't
Why did
sign
you give everybody their own name instead of Momo, whose name is Creati? Why did everybody else get their hero name?
They did not start their own company. It's just a team up. And they're just visiting schools. You have fundamentally misunderstood what's happening. So he's going to take this and just like, no, things are happening.
Sebastian
They're
says,
all in their
To
own.
fill the shit video with some good news, the One Piece remake is going to have a thing in the One Piece Day tomorrow, so we may get a trailer. Also, I heard Miss Nagatoro got another chapter.
Yep, and yep. Read the extra chapter, read it all. All my is ending.
Yep, good for you.
Together, and everyone has their own stuff going on. On
How
Deku's
do
way
we
home-
know that? Well, because they are alive, obviously everybody has their own stuff going on. So
But
that's
what is-
neither a positive nor a negative.
What is Grape Rush doing right now?
Who the actual
What is Cellophane doing
Who
right now?
knows? And that's what the issue is.
We don't know what Sero's up to. We don't know what Ojiro's up to. We don't know what Mina's up to.
Bro is just reading the chat. Let him cook.
He encounters Dai, who asks Deku, is it possible for me to be a hero just like you? And Deku remembers when he asked All Might the same question, and he starts to analyze Dai's quirk, and he comes to the conclusion that Dai can still be a hero.
Who would he
despite-
consider somebody that cannot be a hero?
Yes.
You have a quirk. He's gonna be there doing. Why would he be like, no? You've just got a spray bottle on your head. No. You're just a Lego man. No.
Cellophane, who? That's Sero. That's Tape Man.
Tape Man.
His name is not Tape Man. I just want y'all to know.
But it's easier for people to comprehend who he is because there may be people who understand Cellophane. There may be people that can put the pieces together. Cellophane, like Tape Man. Boom, got it. But if you say Tape Man, nobody's misunderstanding that.
Hey, Ina was one of the better characters in the entire series.
And then he did nothing.
I wish he would have got more.
And then
he reached out for Deku's hand.
And his quirk being a little odd. And he realized that it's his turn to inspire everyone else now. That's when All Might appears and says that for the last 8 years, they have been working on
Has there been any conclusion of what he's grabbing?
Yes, he's grabbing the end. Go back to the previous page.
Oh, because it's not.
Yeah, down there you see his hand.
Appears and says that for the last 8 years, they have been working on a suit and support items in order for Deku to get back into the field that was funded by all of Class 1A and mainly Bakugo. And the chapter ends with Deku springing back into action once again, despite...
Mina's design is so f***ing good, y'all. I love Mina with all
when
my
you look
heart.
at it, it's just longer hair and longer horns.
Hey,
and I understand.
And
I understand.
But look at, you can say the same thing in Uraraka.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's
trash.
not cooking.
Yeah, no, it's trash. And she's got a bigger
I
head.
being
Baby.
quirkless,
Why
and
is
now-
All Might still alive? Because Horikoshi wanted to subvert the trope of the mentor always dying to put the hero motivation, blah, blah, blah.
The almighty Jew Hansen says, how is the what it means to be a hero mean shit when you can just get a cool suit?
You have the mentality of a hero.
Yes.
And here you go.
Yeah.
having a support suit that makes him just as powerful as his classmates. And the series ended right there. So now let's talk about why people absolutely hate this ending.
Yeah, tell us why we're wrong.
I'm gonna tell you right now, most of the hate comes from misinformation.
Yeah,
You
but
literally didn't understand.
And making a company. Yeah, like that misinformation.
You
I
didn't
cool.
understand the pain
I
you
cool.
read.
Spread online. Random creators were just saying random
Yeah,
things.
random months just saying things. You're not reading it and seeing that, hey, Great Brush, who is he? What is he doing? Or in the background, you can see 2 lightning bolts on a building. So either that's a billboard for Kaminari or his agency. So then you have to go, okay, he started an agency. Is it odd for a 25-year-old to start an agency, or is that just
The norm.
The norm. Why did he start an agency? Was that like a motivation of his? Did he just go, I'm not powerful enough to be all the times out there because my brain will get fried, so I'll motivate the other
Or
people?
is it even a hey, welcome our newest hero for the agency he's part of?
And it's just a hey, here he is.
Yeah.
Come, he's gonna be here. There's a lot of things about that.
there's a lot of things it could be.
How do you make an
Hope is
agency?
still naming Fig manga
Boomer
he would
F5
put
says,
over it.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Tape Man.
Oh, the greatest hero. He was there. He was putting tape to the biggest villain of all time.
Literal
Just going,
devil.
I am here. Me, Tape Guy. I don't know nothing about no sad backstory. I just want to punch people. Thank you, Tape Guy, for this wire. It was so terrible.
You missed some glazing meme.
About the chapter, and it caught traction, and now everyone hates it. First things first, the biggest complaint I've been seeing is that Deku
Yeah, we just
never
didn't
achieved
understand.
his dream. Deku's dream.
I'm sorry, what?
First, the biggest complaint I've been seeing is that Deku never achieved his dream.
I don't
Deku's
think-
dream.
I have not seen that.
I have never seen that complaint, and I've been reading and watching quite a few people. Where's this complaint coming from? Please showcase the people saying this, since this is the biggest complaint.
Because that is not a complaint of mine in the slightest.
None.
Because it makes no
Cotton Candy Hope
difference.
says, and those are only in Jump.
Because it makes no sense. Don't worry about it. But it makes no difference if it was just a little corner that was just like, I'm not even a hero and people are still voting me as number 1. It's been happening for 8 years. And I've been asking them not to, but they still do it. So technically he is still the greatest hero. But that would have changed absolutely nothing. I do not care that he did not, quote unquote, achieve his dreams. He did what he set out to do, which is be a very good hero. He saved the world. I'm not sitting here just going, oh no, the thing that Deku wanted isn't what he wants at the end.
And he
No, he
screamed.
got what he wanted, and then he screamed.
Was
This
to
is
become
a
the
complaint
world's
people
great-
have on Twitter that he never achieved his dream. Yeah, like I said, I've never seen this.
Randos on Twitter? Why would I give a
greatest hero, and instead he ended up being a teacher working a 9 to 5.
I hate that smoothing nonsense, Dead. I hate it with all my heart. The first time I saw it was in a AMV, and it was a horror AMV, and I was like, that's a cool aesthetic for something like that. But doing it this way, it's hideous. Same thing with those 60 frame per second openings. Hideous.
Yeah, don't do that.
To become the world's greatest hero, and instead he ended up being a teacher working a 9 to 5. Deku achieved his dream. People mix up Deku being the #1 hero with Deku being the greatest hero. And I'm here to tell you that those two...
Pause. He wasn't the greatest hero. Everybody is the greatest hero as he specified. Because
Yes.
if he's quote unquote the greatest hero, what does that mean to be the greatest hero? That he defeated the greatest evil, but he didn't do that by himself. He had a lot of help in that case. He had 8 mothers mind punch him to death. He didn't quote unquote achieve that dream either. Again, I don't care.
are not the same thing at all. You do not need to be the #1 hero in order to be the greatest hero. Take Endeavor, for example.
What do you need to be the greatest hero?
Yes, what does that count as?
Don't go on an example and just like he was #1, but he wasn't the greatest.
He was the greatest at that point.
But he's gonna say that he wasn't.
Why not?
Because he wasn't.
After All Might retires, Endeavor takes the #1 spot. Does Endeavor, at that moment, become the world's greatest hero, the greatest hero the world has ever seen? Does he surpass All Might in that category?
He is the greatest hero that we have in this age.
Yes.
He's
Unknown
not the-
Gaming XL says, Deku beat the Satan on Earth, but he's taking the bus. Broke
What a
boy.
broke boy! But yeah, in this moment, he is the greatest hero. That is what he is. He is the #1 hero. And from our understanding, that's what it means. What is the understanding that you need? What's the clarification here?
Absolutely not. It just goes to show you that those rankings do not determine how great you are as
Hey, who was the greatest hero at that
Yeah.
time then?
What
If
does it
was
mean?
him?
Saving people, which is what he did with the Nomu, and then people start to accept him?
Dwight, it was mentioned so minutely, like once or twice. That
It was like-
for the longest time, us two were just like, he never wanted that.
But I saw panels of him saying, I do want to be the greatest hero. I think it was when he was on the beach cleaning stuff.
a hero. Deku stopped an entire army. He stopped All for One.
Pause. In the moment that Endeavor was there, who was the greatest hero? It's not about the greatest hero of all time, because that was never Deku's dream. So you can't say that, it was always just the greatest hero. Be the greatest hero of this moment, the age, whatever it is. It is the greatest hero. And at that point, Endeavor was factually #1, which means he was the greatest hero.
Hey, Cyber.
If you want to just say he stopped a lot of stuff, Endeavor stopped a lot of stuff with the Nomu.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. What army is he talking about that Deku stopped?
Could you go back?
Not. It just goes to show you that those rankings do not determine how great you are as a hero. Deku stopped an entire army. He stopped All for One and Shigaraki
I
from
guess you could
C
say...
says, Deku delivered my DoorDash and started yapping, so I told him put the fries in the bag and left no tip like DSP Gaming.
One for all, Fall Cowling, Detroit Smash!
Biggest complaints I've seen: quirkless, bitchless, works in 9 to 5 or McDonald's, or for the meme, probably both with how teachers are paid. Thank you for the super chat. So those are the biggest ones I've seen. That he ended up with nobody, his friends ghosting him. He has no quirk, so he can't be a hero right now.
But if you want to say he took out the army, you could just say he took out the leader of the army and therefore it just crumbled afterwards, because everybody, I guess they just cleaned it up and it was fine.
No, Dwight, you don't, being the #1 hero doesn't necessarily make you the greatest hero. But who in that time frame was a greater hero than Endeavor? Who was a better hero than Endeavor?
Because his argument is just that, no, Endeavor was not. And I'm saying that factually, based on ranking and polls, he was.
I think, and strength and feats and all that stuff, I think he was the greatest hero. Now, let's say Best Genius was number 2, and Endeavor was number 3, because Best Genius had all the publicity and stuff. So when All Might retires, he became the number 1. I would not say Best
Gamer F5
Genius is the
says,
greatest hero with
These
number
Deku
1.
being cuck memes are getting crazy. Horikoshi gotta making sequel.
He gotta fix
There's
this.
got to be something.
So I wouldn't say Best Genius, if he slotted into that number 1 spot, would be the greatest hero. I would still say Endeavor is a greater hero than him.
But who is the greater hero at this point than Endeavor?
It just so happened that Endeavor also became the number 1. He's talking about, so the argument we're making is who was a greater hero than Endeavor?
And
Who
if
wasn't
you
the
can't
number 1?
find anybody, then he is the greatest hero. He has the most saving people's feet, taking out the biggest villain at that time. It has to be him.
Taking over Japan and eventually taking over the entire world. And now the entire world knows who Deku is.
They thought he was a myth
Yes.
8 years later. Dude was like, you exist.
But we see people...
A fan of his who went, I want to be like Deku went, oh, you're an actual person.
The whole world, we don't know the whole world knows who Deku is. It could just be the Muff and Satan is defeated.
Yeah.
I guess
They all were watching TV.
yeah, they
so.
were watching TV, but they were watching Endeavor as well. So I don't care if, because we don't have evidence of All Might being the greatest in the entire world. Because if it's that, is Best Genius the number 2 in the world, or is he the best number 2 in Japan? And then we have to just go, okay, say there's 100,000 people voting, and they all vote for All Might, so he's the best in the world, but not enough people vote for Best Genius, so he's only the number 2 in Japan, but he's number 8 in the world. It's like, we don't have that evidence.
I look at it more like when the NBA champions call themselves the world champions. There are other leagues of basketball in the world, but for some reason you're the
Cameron Daly
champion
says,
of the world because
I
you
think
won
that
the
line
American
is taken out of
League.
context. It's like meeting a celebrity at a con or seeing Sorman IRL.
Hey, maybe. But like, yeah. Maybe it's just, if you're the best in Japan, you're marked as the best in the world.
It could just be Japan has the highest crime rate, so if you're a big hero there, you're gonna be big in the... Because you will see, like, I think there was a picture of, like, the...
Egyptian or whatever.
It was like, I think it was like the Egyptian women's basketball team facing off against the Americans, and the women's are just like 4'8", and then the American ones are like 6'2", and they're just towering over them. Like, well, this isn't fair. So just the average of the strength means that you would be better. But I'm not saying number 2 in Japan is that number 2 in the world. Who is the number 2 in the world? Where does Kate fit into this? Stars and Stripes. Where does she fit into this?
In their eyes, he became the world's greatest hero. We even see Dai saying that kids wanted to be like Deku when they grew
They
up.
wanted to be like, how many people are ahead of him? 2 other people go back? Best Genius is ahead of him.
Hero. We even see Dai.
All Might Endeavor, Best Genius, Deku.
Deku, Shoto,
Now, if you want to
Bakugo.
say the previous generation of All Might, Best Genius, Endeavor, and then the new generation of Deku, Explosion, and Shoto! Ah! Then that's fine. He's number 1 in a new generation. But you can't just use this as evidence to just be like, he's renowned worldwide because Shoto is there.
Saying that kids wanted to be like Deku when they grew up. Deku took All Might's spot
Hey, never forget I sped this up a little.
as the world's greatest hero. So even though Deku may not be the number 1 hero on the charts, he, in the eyes of the world, is still the greatest hero. And also,
he is a myth, a legend. Showcase anybody other than Dai saying that he's the best hero. You don't have that evidence.
Man's is walking down the street like it's nothing.
Nobody's bothering him.
Mothers would have been mobbing All Might.
Like it wasn't anything. He is a factual legend. People do not believe he exists. If he's just like, you're here, you're real, so he can't be the number 1 hero.
Deku has completely changed the world. There are so little villains
Pause. He did not completely change the world. It was a combined effort of a lot of people, because a lot of people were throwing him at All for One, just going, get your one punch in. Yes, he got that one punch in, but it wasn't by himself.
Without those people being there, factually, he would have
He
lost.
would have lost.
In the current timeline, that heroes are barely even needed, and this is
And that's
thanks to-
not due to him. That's due to the combined efforts of. Is he out there, Muff, in government? No.
Making reform programs and all this other stuff.
That mustard gas villain, does he stop because All for One is dead, or does he just keep going?
Deku wiping out All for One and Shigaraki. So how can you say that Deku didn't achieve his dream if, one, he's recognized...
This one's for you, more.
Thank you for the super chat. Love One Piece. Galaxy Impact Pretty Demon Slayer
Pizza
episode
Stick says,
19.
Deku after he lost his quirk, and this is the story of how I became the greatest McDonald's frybagger.
Here's the thing. I feel like, because again, I've never seen the argument, so I don't want to necessarily speak for the people that are making this argument, but I feel like the argument would be, if Deku achieved his dream, he never got to experience that dream. He never got to live that dream. He just, for a fraction of a second, became that thing. Or even in people's mind, became that thing. And he never got to enjoy it.
It'd be like a baseball player having the second most home runs, and then the number one person is just like, and then they retire, and then the number one person is like, well, they found to have steroids, so they get bumped down, and then number two becomes number one. He doesn't get to enjoy it because he's retired.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. He's just like, oh, okay, cool.
There was
But-
something recently that happened like that where it was speed running, or it was beating one of the Mario Maker levels where people were like, where the guy that beat the level used the tools and sent it thing to create the level. So by the time the person beat it, it's just like, we didn't get a good cathartic ending because first it's cheated, and then the person that said that beat it the first time
the whole
cheated.
thing was, they were trying to beat every single Mario Maker level before the system shut down.
Yeah.
And
The
that was
servers.
that was the last one. And it was just like, well, it was
a
cheated.
race.
It was cheated to be made, so it's unbeatable. So you guys already done it. It's just like, oh.
And then somebody
Hooray.
legitimately beats it, and it's like, well, it doesn't feel like anything. Why would that person feel accomplishment now? The accomplishment they should have, knowing everything that went down. And that's, I can't make the argument for these people because I don't know it, but that's what I would assume their thoughts were. The fact that go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna read that one exactly.
The fact that the story all happened in the span of like 1 to 1.5 years boggles my mind. Technically a little longer. How long was Deku training before he got the
like
body?
3, 4, 5, 6 months.
So like 4 months, 8 months in the school. Yeah, like a year and a half.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But the argument also could be made that we never saw Deku at his 100% All Might peak.
Yeah.
Where he's making tornadoes with his punches.
Because when he's like, hey, I'm using 20%, people are getting hype because, oh my God, he's getting stronger. Eventually, he's going to get that all might strength. It's just, no, I'm just going to use the other quirks in my body. I never need to do that.
by the entire world, with Dai even saying that kids wanted to grow up and be like Deku, to
one of the six people he named.
He saved the entire world. And
Multiple people did.
If Bakugo was not there,
Sebastian
Deku
says,
would not.
The ending made me hate Uraraka, that gold digger. Every female is better than her. Also, I can't believe my hero fans on Twitter think that he never liked her the way she liked him as well.
No, that's crazy, Bars.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people like, oh, so the high schoolers didn't get together. It was a high school crush and they both got over it. It's like, okay, do we see that?
I would like to know that.
Yeah, how about anything?
They tried, it didn't work out, we moved on. That's the same thing that happened with the first Digidestined. Like, you expect these people to get together, they dated for a second, it didn't work out, they're dating other people. Cool.
In the Viz translation, Dai says, whoa, you really exist, holy cow.
He don't exist.
He's just that dude that got the last punch in.
8 years later, and months are like,
and he's walking around town.
Come on now, y'all.
And he was a hero, presumably, a little after that as well.
Yeah, if the embers are dying out.
So he was out there also saving people. And still
Doing
nothing.
the reconstruction effort. All that stuff.
And 3, he changed the future for everyone, allowing everyone to live better lives.
How did he change the future? By beating somebody? Is that what you're saying? Because he didn't do it by himself? That's the argument? This
Because
is a
all it
horrible
would
point.
take is a new Shigaraki to come up, and now who Deku didn't do it. It just so happened that within the 8 years, the next greatest evil hasn't appeared.
It's great that crime just stopped because the crime lord is dead.
The biggest, most active crime, there's much less now.
Not stopped.
Yeah.
Much less.
Another complaint I've been seeing is that Deku shouldn't have lost One for All. I don't get how this is a
You
real
need to
complaint.
go into the actual complaints of I like Froppy. What is she doing? Go into that.
Yeah, I got so much time with these characters, and now I don't really get to see them do anything. I don't know what their lives are like.
And now
these days.
they're just a splash page for you to go, hey, cool, and headcanon your way into, I wonder what they're doing.
And because ever since we got introduced to One for All, we knew that at some point Deku would lose it. That's because we saw All Might's One for All embers
How do we
slowly
know?
burning out.
No, that's
No.
when he gave it away
Yes.
because his body was ruined.
That's what happened.
There's nothing saying that all the Deku would have given it away. There's nothing saying that it burns out when you become 40. All them other died because they had quirks and it was with their body. Deku didn't. So you can't be like, well, it happened to All Might, so of course it was gonna happen to Deku. That's not how it works.
Misinformation, by the way.
What misinformation did they have with the last one?
Until All Might lost it himself. So we knew that this was going to be
Gaming Endurance
Deku's fate
says-
at one
We? Who's we?
Who is
Who
this?
does we?
Might lost it himself. So we knew that this was going to be Deku's fate at one point or another.
Yes, well, maybe when he was 60 years old. Maybe when he was a hero and he got caught lacking when he was 40 years old, got popped in the chest and just threw it at somebody. It doesn't have to be, yeah, of course he's going to give it away because All Might gave it away, so it's going to happen, so accept it is going to happen. Get that trash out of here. All the D-Clan dies with a smile. Okay, so once that happens to Luffy, when he just trips and his head on a rock and he dies with a smile, were we just supposed to accept that? No, it's not just about the fact that it happened, it's how it happened as well.
Yeah, why people are surprised that Deku ended up losing it. It's been set up since the very
and
start.
It has
Also-
not been set up. What's been set up is once you give it away, the embers go away. Deku, if the arc before this, Deku had given it to a kid to save their lives, then you could say, why are you mad he lost it? He was always gonna lose it. That's not the need of the story.
I was also going to say it was the way that he gave it away, where he was going to punch his
Dragon
squirts
Instinct
into his
Goku,
holes.
Dragon Instinct Goku,
So,
Dragon
and then he just
Instinct Goku.
woke up and just went, oh, it's gone. They all just rushed and it's gone. And that was it. He had no further thoughts about it. He had no, dang, I'm now quirkless. There's no reminiscing about it. You're just looking at it purely as the sentence of, we salty that he ain't got his quirk. No, he feels no way about not having his quirk other than, dang, easy come, easy go. I was already quirkless, so it do be like that. Here's your fries, sir. No, it's the fact that it was a stupid, convoluted plan of throw quirks into his hole so I can get into this man's hole and punch his soul. And then he did. And then it worked. That's stupid.
All Might literally said, Deku, you will be the last user of All for One. This is nothing but cap. Thank you for the
He
super
could have
chat
died
soul.
with it, and it just dies with him. This power is too big for anybody else. If I give this to somebody, what happens if they become
Gaming
the biggest
Endurance
villain?
says, I am saying ever since Villain Hunt started, Deku was regressed as a character.
Oh, for sure. How's Zero dealing with her ear? What Shoto and
Who
his siblings do?
knows?
Why did Momo change her costume? Did Compress ever get out of prison? How did Spinner's book do? You can't just end it after all of that with no answers. Why even set up the book thing
Well,
if you're not
there
gonna
was
pay? Yes,
nothing.
he wrote a book. End of story.
And that's it. Hey, yo, tell the octopus man to suck my nuts. You got it, boss. He did not say that. to Shoto on screen. So why have that? It's the dumbest. Do I think MHA here ending is the worst? And I don't know. There's a lot of bad manga endings. Attack on Titan,
Quintuples. I would assume quintuple and central.
Bleach are a lot of bad endings. I'm going My Hero because it achieved nothing and accomplished nothing. If All for One is gone, then there is relevance of all One for All ends. Yeah. Because there's no generational conflict to be like, this needs to be passed down to be this mother.
Sort of.
One small ink panel when the chapter of the book idea got introduced, it was like 11 pages
Of him
for a
just
small
talking to
panel.
Spinner. Deku has never interacted with Spinner, and then he's just like, I'm gonna meet this month in prison and tell Shigaraki, who I don't know your relationship with, by the way, his final words and just like, it's all gonna be all right, Spinner.
Sure, for all he know, that could have activated some sleeper agent within Spinner.
It blew up, just like it did with Nagan. It's
Cotton Candy Hope says.
stinky.
So we all voted for Mirko in the super amazing secret project poll, right?
I'm not touching that poll. I don't care.
But it would be Miracle.
What do you guys think about the new Black Clover? I'm so far behind in Black Clover.
I haven't read it yet, but it is on. I didn't see it updated when maybe I need to check again.
Spinner could have smoked Deku. Good thing he didn't. I killed your best friend, but it'll be okay. Bye-bye. Enjoy your jail cell. Enjoy your jailhouse discrimination, because that's still presumably a thing.
I hear mixed things about the Attack on Titan ending.
I hear bad things about the Attack on Titan ending.
Is it bad things from the people that should say it's bad, or is it bad things from the people that?
It is a theme ending.
Okay.
The poll stinks. The poll is either going to be super obvious, in which Deku, Bakugo, or Todoroki is going to win, or it's going to be something stupid like All Might or Endeavor is going to win. Then we know it's cheated, and therefore it's not worth it. So it's either going to be super obvious or cheated and not even worth talking about. So, good night. Is Spinner still in jail? How did he release a book from jail?
O.J. Simpson did. If I really did it.
No,
I thought it was.
He was out.
Oh, I thought it was in jail.
Yeah, no, he was out.
I'm sure somebody's released a book in jail.
Memoirs, and then somebody else comes in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't want to get all pedantic, like, all right, publishing, where does the money go? I don't want him funded in prison because mutant racism or whatever. Just like, all right, we're going to sell it, but it's going to be diverted into the mutant cancer fund, or whatever. But, I would like some more follow-up with that, because it is just another thing of, here it is, I'm introducing this thing, it goes nowhere, but just have that knowledge in this world that this exists. And that's just not it exists is not enough for me.
Destro wrote a book in jail.
Destro?
The destroyer dude that Shigaraki fought.
Big nose. Yeah. Oh yeah, where is he? I guess he.
Yeah, where is he?
Hey, shut up.
Notera says, my hero fan has been here, how can you tell cuck porn?
The series. Complaint number 3 that I've been seeing is that Deku has been forgotten by the world, by his friends, and his actions are not recognized. Guys, it doesn't take much to actually read the chapter instead of going off of what other people are saying.
Hey, can you read that chapter real quick with Dai? That panel?
Oh yeah, sure, I got you. It's still
we
open,
don't
by the way.
we don't want to inform people.
Deku, huh? Deku, Izuku Midoriya? Whoa, you really exist. Holy cow.
That feels like he's been kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
That
kind of feels like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder what could he say about that then?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know
Where's
for
his
some of
statue?
you reading is hard, but I do believe in you.
Hey,
because
what?
You misread a chapter that was clearly in your face, a panel.
You posted the battle and saw team up and you just went,
company.
yep, they've started a company.
Deku was definitely not forgotten. Dai literally says in this chapter that kids aspired to be just like Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki.
Hey, when we see those kids running around, whose shirt are they wearing? Because it's most certainly not Deku. I don't see any merch. I don't see any apparel. I don't see.
When a kid gets saved by Deku, they are not the ones that say, thank you, Deku. They say, cool, close call, thanks, mister. They bow and they walk away. Mister.
He's cooked.
A child. So that we have two evidence of children.
It's
one
okay
that
to
do
be
know
confused.
him, one that don't know him. So what are we doing here? And what can you aspire to be? I want to be super strong like him. And then what? Just not do hero work? Not even debut?
Crazy.
For what they know, he punched a dude once, and that dude exploded. That's all they know.
And it saved the world.
On the same level as All Might was when he was a kid. Also, when Dai runs into Deku, he instantly recognizes him. That's
You're a real guy. The translation that you used it is shock that he exists. Who's saying Michael Jordan?
Ordinary says,
You're real?
Go watch the AO'd anime ending. Manga ending was rushed.
I will when I know enough about it. But I will get the full context once we get into it.
In his defense, Deku wasn't ghosted. Everyone was busy in their adult hero lives. Thank you for the super chat. So
I will say we don't have enough information about that to fully say how much they got together.
I'll just say this. There are 4 people in our group that need to get together for because reasons on Ruby. And it has not happened in like 9 months. Like sometimes you just schedules don't line up. That doesn't necessarily mean Deku's being ghosted. That's just the way people ran with it. It's just, hey, we don't get to see each other as much these days because everybody has their own lives. Like, I don't see my closest friends that much. It's what it is. Everybody living their own
how famous Deku is. Somebody can
Dai's
recognize
interaction with Deku feels like a Darman video or a random Isalab comes out of nowhere to clear the hero's problem. That happens so much with in Sniper Wolf. Whoops, get her out of here.
him off of just a glance, despite the fact that he's been inactive as a hero for.
Okay, but what about the page right before that where the kids go, thanks, mister?
And with no recognition. It is one person doing that.
What about the page before that page where Deku's just walking the streets and nobody's like, hey, it's Deku. Hi, Deku.
If I saw Dennis Rodman walking down the street, I would not talk to him. I'd be like, oh, yo, that's Dennis Rodman. And just keep it moving. I don't really care.
But your head would turn.
Yeah, that's all it's. Recognition. That's all it is. And is that enough? When he was on the tear with the 1993 Bulls, he won 18 championships, muffs in the NBA All-Star games, giving up because it's just like, we up against them muffs. It's just a dude going, you are real. Like I said, who would go, Jordan, you're real? Nobody.
8 years. Deku has worldwide recognition.
You
and
keep saying that, but you show Japanese recognition.
And you show Japanese recognition in the form of a singular kid that goes, wow, you're real.
We don't have evidence that All Might has worldwide recognition outside of his biggest fan and the president. And I think maybe when he retired, people were just like, oh no. And it showed like big nosed American flag behind him so they could clearly know that you're American.
Demon Slayer ending may be as bad as Naruto.
Oh, Naruto,
We should do a list exists tier list on the endings of Shonen.
There's a lot to be said about a lot of them.
Like, are y'all forgetting that Deku's fight was broadcasted to the entire world? Of course,
sure.
People are.
But so was Gentle. Gentle was there as well. Does he have world renown for that? Yeah. We don't know that for sure. You say that it's showcased, but it's just like, oh, yeah. It was that big splash page. I remember the big splash page where people just going, somebody was just like, I don't care if this dude destroyed the whole world. So there are people that's like, oh, he saved the world. But where else does that go? We don't know how they feel about him outside of, oh yeah, that's that dude that stopped that other dude that we just now learned existed.
Still going to remember who Deku is, but they're not going to actively talk about him because he's a
Full Cowling, Detroit Smash!
He is known in America and Japan, so he's worldwide. Thank you for the super chat. So,
And that Egyptian guy, because there's that Egyptian hero who's a crude caricature of Egyptian culture.
tired hero at this point in time. And also, I've been
So
seeing
again, Undertaker. People are going to be talking about Undertaker for all this time. It doesn't matter about that. You're just showcasing that he doesn't have the recognition, and you're excusing it as well, he's retired. Yes, that's what the people's issues are.
people say that Deku's friends forgot about him and abandoned him. And this comes from a simple mistranslation from leaks. In the actual chapter, all Deku says is that ever since they became adults,
that was the same thing in the leaks. Or the, the translation.
See, there's the lightning bolts.
Oh, yeah.
it's been hard for them to hang out as often because their schedules don't line up. That is such a normal thing. In fact,
Yes.
it is so normal that it makes vanilla look spicy. Like, that is the most...
But there could be more about that. More stuff like they try to cheer me up, but I don't need cheering up because I'm happy with my life. I'm happy for what they're doing. All we get is we don't meet up as much as often. Which
would have made even more sense when he gets his suit and starts crying and can become a hero again, that he's bottling up all that. Because when people ask him, he's just kind of like shrugging it off. And if you explored that more, him getting the suit would have made a lot more sense of crying about it. Because he can now do the thing he wanted to do again. But no!
the leak said after 8 years they didn't talk. Okay, yeah, I didn't read the leaks.
Oh yeah, the leaks is goofy there.
most basic thing that happens to all
But
people.
you can still complain about that line where it's just there's nothing there. It's just
When they-
things have been awkward between anything
Hey.
showcasing their relationship.
Why wouldn't Deku be part of that quirk project with Uraraka now? Because it feels like he would have more to say than just about anybody. His quirk was destroying his body. It wasn't originally his, so he didn't feel like why isn't he part of that? Why isn't he speaking at seminars with them? Crazy.
grow up.
Bro got the world's worst tattoo.
It's weird.
It's really off-putting.
Of course, they're not going to
He
be
needs
hanging out with
more.
one another or talking to each other on a 24/7 basis because they're adults. They have their own lives going on now. Like, people are just trying to find random things to hate on this chapter about, or they're making up random...
And again, this is the thing where I would have liked for him to showcase these tweets because he's showcasing these complaints as they don't get together, and that's what it
Gaming
is.
and Viren
Not-
says, remember when Bakugo apologized, we get no reaction from Deku from then, and now Hori just doesn't want to do anything interesting
Yeah,
with
he
Deku.
just doesn't care. But it's not like we don't see these characters interacting. What that could be another part of the complaint. You're just attacking the nebulous. People are complaining about this one sentence of they don't get together. Well, that's normal for adults. But I want to see them together because we've seen them together for all of this series. That's the next part of it, and you're just not addressing that. You're just addressing the easy point to dismantle.
Or even a lot of them are just memes where Deku's getting ghosted in a group chat.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me. Because Uraraka is a backstabbing, gold digging bit. Wish the final chapter was 50 pages. I would have loved an extended.
Or a second, anything.
I refuse to believe that Class 1A couldn't find time to hang out because throughout the series, as well as Vigilantes, we get shown heroes with free time all the time.
It's hard
Especially
to believe
with
that.
the villains and the crime down. What are they doing?
Where's the time? Why don't you have time?
Is it Ayama's quirk, not his too? Sure. Let him talk.
Let him talk.
It's realistic in the same manga where Gran Torino and Airshot are still alive. That manga is not realistic.
Hole right through the top of his chest all the way down to his nuts.
Not my problem. I just want to see more of their times as an adult.
Yes.
Absolutely. If 4 months in Class 1A found time to tour the country together, I refuse to believe that not one or two of them couldn't hang out with Deku.
It's crazy.
The only thing I can see is it's all or nothing. we're all together or we're not hanging out.
I've got nothing to say to Sero. I can't sit around him and share a bagel with this mother. I ain't got nothing to talk with him about. I don't know this guy. So it needs to be me, Ida, tape guy, tail guy, and Minetta before we can get together. Because I'm not answering that buff test.
All of the things, their time not syncing up make a lot of sense when it's like 6 or more moms need to be together or we're finished here.
We just, conversation is after, how's the hero work? Fine.
How's school?
I don't wanna make Deku sad, so I'm not gonna get into it that much. So I'm just gonna say that if fine, conversation ends. What more do you got to talk about?
Things on the spot. It's literally stated that his friends for the last
Remember
8
that Nagat gets blown up from the inside and she's still alive. Hey, whatever.
I want more Mina. I would love for Horikoshi to him to announce just, hey, I'm gonna create like 18 12-page chapters just in the daily lives of the other class 1A students, so just so we can see what they're doing.
Or something like Oda where he does cover pages and it's just, hey, here's Mina and she's a world famous dancer now.
Or even like the mangaka for Chio-chan School Roll, where they'll just throw up a 2 or 3 page chapter or even just a 1 chapter thing on Twitter. And just like, hey, that's just what it is. Horikoshi just goes on a social media and just like, here's what Mina's doing. And just drops a couple pages of a Mina chapter. And that's it.
Matoga dies of a hemorrhage and they put Dabi in.
What the
She just dies. She just loses all of her blood and dies.
Crazy!
I want more of the class interacting, them actually doing it together. Most of them don't have any actual dynamics or interactions with each other. And this is the perfect time because it is a reset. Now we can have whatever relationship. Hey, in Grape Rush and Froppy tried to date and it didn't work, but there's friends. And hey, Ida is now Tape Guy's godfather to his child because whatever. Anything, but nothing.
Tell dude out here with a dojo like a Toriyama character. That would be nice.
Or a novel, yeah, novel, anything. Cause that's what like I said last week, I am a character guy. You show this big splash page, and they're all just essentially upgraded suit version of theirs. Some of them got mustaches, longer hair, shorter hair, whatever. But it's just here they are. And how do you feel about that if all you got is here they are? Oh, well, I hope they're out there doing big boy things.
making up random things on the spot. It's literally stated that his friends for the last 8 years have been funding a project in order to build.
We don't know if it's been the last 8 years because when did they all become professional heroes? When did they all start making money enough to start saving up? We don't know this evidence.
Chris the Chilled
We just
says,
know that they were saving
Bakugo
up.
and Uraraka are staring a family. Deku would be so happy for them. Tears of joy.
Think of it like this. How long did it take All Might suit to get built? And all the funding and blah, 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 blah. This could have been a 2-year project.
Yeah, because you just going, it took them 8 years, but they had to graduate. They had to become sidekicks. They had to become heroes. They had to save up. They had to develop the tech. They had to make the tech.
There was time between Deku losing his embers and not being a hero again. What? It could have started after that. He could be a teacher for the past 5 years and he spent 3 years as a hero because he doesn't need to do too much heroing if crime is going downish. And
it is nitpicky to just be like, oh, it wasn't 8 years, you have no evidence of that. But you're claiming it in a video that they spent 8 years doing that when you don't have that evidence. It just says this was funded by them.
Nobody's listening to you,
All right, never mind.
Build support items strong enough in order to get Deku back to being a hero. And for those people who are mad that Deku's a teacher, why are you mad? The chapter literally ends with Deku becoming a hero once again, despite being quirkless.
Because he spent however long as not this.
Yes, this was his dream to become a hero, and he is not a hero. and all we get is, "Yep, I'm cool with it."
made it the fuck
And then he becomes a hero, and we see none of that. Why are you mad?
If we saw the embers fade away, Deku teaching his students, and then it's like a landslide, and we just get him in a suit, we can go, oh, he always been a hero even after the embers thanks to the suit and such. So he's still living his dream. He's just also a teacher. No, he's a teacher first for X amount of years before he can finally get back on the field.
And we see none of the actual hero stuff, and we see him being a teacher. Well, we see him doing teacher-ish work.
Yes.
The whole point of My Hero Academia has never been to be recognized or how strong your quirks are.
Who's saying that? They're saying, I want to see Deku being a hero, and we don't get to see that.
The point of My Hero Academia and the point of Deku's character ever since the very first episode was that Deku's body just moves before he can even think, because he has the mentality and the heart of a hero, despite the fact—
And then he spends X amount of years not being a hero.
Not being a hero. Not
he
at
was
all.
a hero for 8 months, lost it, and then wasn't
And
a
then
hero.
was absolutely fine with it. And the only evidence that we have that his body is still moving is a child tripping. Not against a big villain that he could surely die against. It's just, oh, this kid is gonna get a boo-boo.
the fact that he's quirkless. And him still being a hero at the end, while being quirkless, just solidifies his
Cotton Candy Hope
character. It
says,
shows
Episode 1 ends with young man, you too can be a hero.
you that One For All wasn't everything that Deku had.
Who
One
said that it was? Show those people. Who are you up against? It's not about that. It is about he is fine. We get no evidence of him being sad or anything. We would like to see more introspective of Deku. Here is your power now, and we see none of that. It is unfulfilling because we get neither of the he is satisfied with his life, and we get to see him and he's cool. He's just walking down the street just going, hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Not I feel.
Do you feel lonely, Deku? I get to teach the kids, and that's cool.
Of course I do. Because obviously that was a lie, because the second that he gets a suit, he's out there.
Crying that he got a suit and can be a hero again.
So tell the truth, like, he is an adult at this point. He's not that little kid that is idolizing All Might. He is, yes, of course, because that was my dream.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a little lonely, but... And then he can go into a spiel of teaching the next generation, and that has its own benefits and merits.
For All isn't what made Deku special. His mentality made him special.
No,
so that's
who's arguing against it?
That's why it's not even a big deal that Deku lost One For All. People are just misunderstanding the ending and overall just misunderstanding the entire story of My Hero Academia, and then
It is a big deal because Deku's clearly sad about it.
Yes.
And he's clearly happy once he's a hero again. So yes, it is a big deal to Deku.
labeling this ending as horrible. The last major complaint I've been hearing is that Deku's father was never revealed, and to those people I have to ask, what would have changed if Deku's dad was revealed?
Horikoshi said he was gonna reveal him, so he
Yes.
should have been revealed.
It makes no sense that your son for 8 months got a quirk, became a hero, got into the best course of the best school in all of Japan, the best hero, and you don't get a phone call. He is alive, he is well. This isn't that he's dead. It's just
They said the sports festival is like an Olympics in this world. You didn't see your kid up there?
it makes no sense, and that's what it is. It is just a drop thing that didn't need to be dropped. He could have drawn them. He could have had a phone call. Anything could have happened. Obviously,
When
it's not
Deku ran back home, and it could have been his mom and his dad inside
A
of it instead
panel.
of just his mom.
obviously not a biggest issue as we don't get to see these characters interacting or anything.
Of course not.
But it is a thing that was dropped that people would have liked to see.
Hey, kill the dad. Just the cat.
He was never alive. He died in America. It was in Satan that was his daddy. Who cares?
Which is what people thought it was gonna be. That's why it took so long to reveal him, because he was gonna be some big villain or something.
Dad never called his wife.
Never, nothing.
Or he didn't. And again, yes, he did say we would see him, and that's obviously outside of the manga, but it just makes no sense that your parent is out there. And this isn't like Luffy, where he does not care.
He don't give a shit.
We know nothing about this
Who's
man.
my mama?
I have a dad.
Guys, Algonix says, yes, his suicidal mentality. I agree. The best hero.
The best hero. Maybe I will jump off a building, Bakugo. That'll show him.
His dad's gonna be revealed in a movie or something. It's just, why not in the manga?
Hey, this first video is taking like an hour and a half.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But my whole thing, I was just like, oh, he's talking to his dad at the end of the manga. How I became the greatest hero. This is the story.
Oh yeah, on the phone? That would have been great.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Instead of
easy.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Or when he was
Or
writing
his
it
dad
down,
was in jail, he was a villain or something.
and his mom just lied. But as he's writing that stuff down, we all became the greatest hero. He could have folded that up, put it in an envelope, and just wrote to dad and sent it off and just go, okay, that's some acknowledgement. That's what the issue
the dad's
is.
just reading it.
That's what the issue is. It's the acknowledgement. This is a grown adult that exists, that has a life that was mentioned, and there's nothing done with it. And it just makes no sense when it could have easily been something done with it.
What in the story would have changed if we got that revelation? If Deku's
we would have gotten a different conversation when All Might was just like, I'm sorry that I put your son into this situation, when he came over to the mom. We would have got a different perspective, because Bakugo and his parents had a different perspective of the hero work and the danger and all that stuff. It would have just been a different perspective. How Deku was raised. Why is he like this? That could come from both his mom and his dad.
And depending on who the dad is, it would change the story a lot.
If it was a villain.
If it was somebody that was noteworthy.
If it was All for One.
Anything.
Who was just under a pseudonym. Things could have changed, either character-wise or story-wise, but don't just say, what would have changed? A lot could have changed.
Because a lot could have changed if, again, I would have hated it if All for One was his dad, but a lot could have changed.
Oh, that would have been so lame.
If All for One, as he was getting younger, his mom saw the image of him and said the dad's name with a question mark, and it was just like, okay,
done.
And I will never tell Deku this.
Ooh, I'm Satan. Uh-oh. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm cooked if this gets out. I better keep my in this house or I'm cooked.
I like this. I like this about Bleach. We see Ichigo's dad and his two sisters, and even see him deal with grief of losing his mom.
Yes.
There's a lot of characterization in that, and I really like the little sisters in that, because I get to know who they are as characters.
Could have been one of the prisoners that escaped. Could have been a lot of things.
Had any significance
And this is the failure of we don't get a sit down conversation where they're just talking. Could have been like, hey, Deku, you got a big strong quirk. Todoroki, his quirk is a combination of his mom and dad. What were your mom and dad's quirks? My mom's quirk is floating, and she says my dad was fire breathing, but I've never really seen him do that. So, and then it's like, what? Like, okay, he's an absentee father. She was lying. Anything. There's just nothing when there could be.
Ori, fine. Maybe I can get behind that. But Deku's origins, his parents, his bloodline was never important to his character.
Things don't need to be important to a person's character in order for us to still get showcased it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just want to see more about a character. Sometimes I just want to learn a little bit more about their history. Law saying I don't like bread means nothing, but I know Law does not like bread. I would have liked to have seen Deku's dad to see where he came from.
A lot of things, but Hori never delivered. It's so easy, but Hori got one story to tell, and that's Bakugo time, baby.
Bakugo, baby.
His dad was truly the squirt bottle guy.
At all. Deku was simply just a quirkless kid who didn't have a dad. Sad as
how did his dad feel about that? Because, dads would be like, oh, I love sports, and then they want to be a doctor, and just like, no, sports. Was he disappointed that he didn't have a quirk when he comes from people that do have a quirk? How does he feel about that? How did that influence Deku and how he feels about quirks and how he feels about himself and being a hero? Was he just like, ugh, these heroes, and he's drunk and he's throwing a bottle at the TV just like, my son can't be a hero? What?
That may sound, that's just the truth of it. People were really hoping that Deku's dad was someone like All For One, for example, and just went into the classic shonen trope of him having a really overpowered parent. Like, no. Deku was simply just born quirkless. His dad has no significance to his story or the story in general.
Your parent has no significance to your story. Why not? We see a lot of emotional moments with his mom, but we see absolutely zero with his dad. His mom was the one that made the suit. Or I think the design for the suit.
Oh, yeah, his dad being angry at Bakugo for bullying his son would have been great.
Him talking to Bakugo's dad, who was just a big weenie. And then the mom has to come up and defend the dad. And so,
yeah, it could have been a reverse of Bakugo's where Deku's mom is the weenie and the dad's just like, get out of here. And that could have been great.
Dad's just like, no, you do have a quirk and we're gonna find it. And he's just like, all right, let's see how long you can hold your breath. And he's just
maybe
waterboarding him, I guess.
Maybe he went to America. Maybe he's a scientist and he's trying to
researching.
And then he comes back and he gives Deku a quirk or something. I don't know.
He helps with the development of his tech.
So many options.
Young Bakugo funded this. I have some people in America, including your father, the greatest scientist in America. Oh, okay. It would have been something. It just doesn't make, like I said, I don't care who Luffy mama is. That means nothing because he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. What does it matter?
But they mentioned let's get it done.
Let's get it.
Cleared up the biggest complaints I've seen. I want to talk about my own criticism because, as I said earlier, I have my own issues with this ending.
And yours are valid because
because he read it.
It's a good ending, but I don't think it's perfect. And my biggest criticism of the ending is that it just felt rushed. I feel like we could have gotten...
it did feel rushed. Like we didn't get Deku's feelings about not really being a hero. And we didn't get his feelings about being a hero again.
And the final arc in its entirety is rushed. Hora was done. He's done with My Hero. Y'all, get out.
It does feel rushed. Like how we couldn't spend a chapter with him talking to his father.
At least 3 more chapters of epilogue before the story concluded, especially to flesh out the time skip a little more and to see what everyone was up to.
Yes,
that's the big complaint.
That seems like a complaint that they're not getting together. Why are they not getting together? Because they're busy. Let's see what they're busy with. It takes 2 paths before you get to your issue. They are busy. What are they busy with? Let's see it. That's your issue. There's one thing in the middle that there's the connecting between the 2 issues, and you're just like, no, people are stupid because they read the leaks. You couldn't think about the fact that people want to see these people get together. They're not together because there's a line that says we're not together, and that's all it is. And he's like, well, I want to see them get together. Yeah, everybody do.
At the end of Fairy Tail, we get to see them have a big party and everyone's just talking to each other and we get to see everything. Let's get a big party going. Deku, it's a surprise party for Deku. The president, the suit, everyone's there, they're having fun. Then they get the call about the landslide.
It's the same day that he initially got his quirk, which is the day that they all got into UA essentially. So they all get together on that day, and that would have been so good. It doesn't feel rushed. It is rushed.
And after graduating UA, I feel like we should have gotten more moments like that in the ending. However, despite the pacing, this is all in all a good ending.
Oh, the one issue. Oh, I got problems. It's not perfect. I felt a little rushed. We should have gotten some more. But all in all, it was perfect.
9 out of 10.
I don't get why people are so mad over this.
Good afternoon, everyone. My Hero Academia's ending is at best okay. Objectively speaking, it could have been done better in the manga. Will be analyzed for years to come. The good, the bad, the ugly. I wonder if it will be. I wonder how long My Hero Academia's ending stands the test of time, because I think Naruto's ending is very poor. But how long has that been discussed before people just came to a general conclusion?
I don't really
of what
Gamer
it is?
F5
talking about
says,
the ending.
Yeah.
I think that if the parents raise some important questions in the story, they need to be introduced, like how Laceta drains the magic of people who go near her. How did Esta's father impregnate her?
He's magicless too. There you go.
Magic penis.
Deku achieved his dream and he became the world's greatest hero.
I
Again,
have problems.
the
Name's
number one
only
hero
one.
does not mean you are the greatest hero. He becomes the world's greatest hero. He changes the entire world. Villain rates drop to an all.
How does he feel about becoming the world's greatest hero? Maybe we should know about that. Maybe we should see a billboard of him and it's just some weird, he's super much, it's essentially All Might in green.
Yeah.
And he's just like, that's not how it happened.
It's like the Dragon Ball when Hercule did the Cell thing. They're just in big old heads. No.
There's a TV show and it's the dramatization of how it's happening. It's like, this again. And he's just like, people will say what they want to say. Just something. He walks by and he sees Deku toys.
And that's why people don't recognize
Dutch
him,
says,
because they
we don't even know how he feels about losing his quirk.
Nothing.
that's
No, he's kind of cool with it.
that's why people don't recognize him, because what they've seen for the past 5 years is a Deku that's not Deku. So like people would not recognize skinny All Might if he wasn't buff All Might, and it's something like that. They're saying it's super buff, super cool Deku,
just green, black whips everywhere, and he's got green aura around him. So they're not just seeing this little kid, and they're just like, "Where's the green and the
so they're not recognizing. Oh, you're Deku. No, you're just some dude to me.
Greatest hero. He changes the entire world. Villain rates drop to an all-time low.
And we are just told these things. These things go into your issue.
Why would villain rates drop to an all-time
Why?
low after the end of All for One?
The best that you can say is All for One was getting downtrodden people and giving them quirks and just going do my bidding. But there are still people out there that would just do evil because they just him.
There's got to be another mind control quirk out there that is like, yeah, I guess I will become a villain.
Barely even need heroes now. He's continuing to inspire people despite being quirkless.
In what
They
way?
don't even know he's real anymore.
And this is the same issue as the chapter before the last chapter, where this one character represents all of society. All of society is changing because this old lady reached out her hand. All of society knows about Deku because this one kid was just like, wait, you exist?
He's still in contact
Gaming in
with...
Virench says, scums exist, scums are born, serial killers exist too.
Yes.
Yeah, some people are born with broken minds. Other people are molded into broken minds. So imagine just a born broken mind or a molded broken mind with just some super powerful quirk. This is... have you guys done a retrospective of My Hero Academia, the manga, its anime adaptation, the movies, and spin-offs? My Hero Academia Vigilantes has a better story. I hear a lot about Vigilantes having a better story. We have not done a retrospective yet, and the key word is yet, because we're doing a retrospective on the final arc, and then sometime next year or the year after, we're going to do a big My Hero retrospective. And by that time, probably any subsequent material will come out, and we'll be able to just put to rest the My Hero in terms of our just, hey, speaking on that thing.
all of his friends, and by the end of it, he still becomes a hero. So, again, people are literally mad over this ending for no good reason at all, and they're simply...
Nobody else has your issues that it's rushed.
Nobody has valid, real reasons, so they're just big mad off nothing. It's good.
Nobody.
Pick the weirdest things I've never heard nobody say.
And misrepresented the things that I have heard people
what
say.
other people are saying online. The ending was good. This was a
It
great...
was good. It was, okay?
There's no way you did this, sir. There's no way.
shonen ending to one of the greatest shonen series of all time, and I will stand by that claim. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next.
This dude.
I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next.
Yeah, that's a 10.
This dude is awful.
Cotton Candy Hope says,
That was bad.
okay, but you're telling me that all the other crime bosses didn't try to take AFO's spot when he went down?
No, they didn't. But this is the
Like
exact same-
Overhaul. Overhaul was not part of their whole thing. He was a whole Destro was a whole different dude. There's just no other Overhauls or Destros out there. None.
But I realize that's the same thing the dude did with the no Deku arms, where people are saying these things that people don't say. It's like, okay, I guess
Crazy.
they did or didn't.
Hurry up, I'm starving. All right, so next up we have what everyone gets wrong in My Hero Academia's ending by Shonen Ouji. Description, boys, since DA went to the bathroom really quick. Why Horikoshi knew everyone would hate. What? What? He can't be saying that's the point. I actively refuse to believe that this man's point is going to be, this was supposed to be bad. Why Horikoshi knew everyone would hate the end of My Hero Academia.
Oh no, hey yo, you were supposed to hate it because it sucks. And sometimes, just like Deku, it be like that. And that's the point. So we're moving on positively. So this guy, unless I'm mistaken, he has a primarily JJK focused podcast with our boy Broken Ronin.
Oh,
unless I'm mistaken.
Oh,
It's the Honored Ones podcast. But that was the description, boys.
Yep, that was it.
Okay, just making sure.
Two small descriptions. Let's get into it.
Hates the new My Hero chapter,
Nope,
and that's
it's a different guy. I
everyone
just
hates
slandered this guy
everyone
for no
hates
reason.
the new My Hero chapter, and that's exactly what Horikoshi intended.
Yeah, it was. I don't want you guys to be happy and satisfied with these characters that you spent 10 years with. I don't want you guys to buy the last volume because you're disappointed. I don't want you guys to see the movie that comes out on the exact same day as the final chapter. No. You're supposed to feel sad, idiot. Don't like me. What's wrong with you? Hey, how about just make something good?
Go on Twitter and you can see people saying he fumbled the ending because Deku doesn't have one for all, or Deku doesn't end up with Ochako, or like a million other reasons. It also doesn't help that the last 30
If it's a million reasons, that seems kind of bad. If people can list off the reasons like bam, 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 and they're all valid, I think there's a problem with the manga.
The last 30 plus chapters were full of less than stellar fights and a ton of ass pulls.
Cotton
Factor
Candy
in
Hope says, I made it bad so they never asked me to make my Samurai 8.
Never.
all of that, and
I didn't know bro was in the writing room with
Yeah,
Horikoshi.
boy.
the fact that there's more than a few questions that people didn't get answers to, and it's no
Hey, sir, if you're gonna cut out your little cutout and you're gonna move it around, have it so the left side of your head, there's not an artifact just kind of floating there
No.
when you move it too
all
far.
of that, and the fact that there's more than a few questions.
No, it's impossible.
It's clear that
T23 has taught us this.
it's clear that he reversed the image because it's the same spike, the same direction. It's clear he reversed it and then just left it. I don't know why he did it this way.
Questions that people didn't get answers to, and it's no wonder that this chapter has led to some pretty mediocre reviews. And the fact that so many people dislike this chapter actually proves that it's the perfect ending to My Hero.
This?
Is this Persona music?
Hey, what's the problem?
There can't be Persona music playing right now.
Did you think we ever left, or?
It's been so long.
The fact that so many people dislike this chapter actually proves that it's the perfect ending to My Hero Academia. Now, I'm sure the claim that pissing everyone off may
Hi
sound
Zaldonic
confusing.
says, the music person, Dink.
or just plain clickbaity, but allow me to explain how My Hero's ending perfectly embodies everything Horikoshi tried to express with this story, and why it's much better than you initially thought.
I
At
don't
least
care what it tried to express and how well he did it. I don't give a single crap.
it's better than I first thought, because when I first read the last chapter, I thought it was boring. I didn't hate it like everyone else, but I was disappointed to say the least. But then I went back about 30 chapters to when Bakugo fights All for One and reread the very last chapters, and suddenly everything clicked.
Yes! Theme time, boy. It's clicking together. I read the last 30 chapters. This is not about the big fight. It's about how... Shut up.
Oh, we're about to get a theme.
Monster.
Why is it so bright? Oh, it's this guy. Yes, theme. Oh no, everyone's recognizing. The themes are coming. Thematic ending.
Before I explain why that is,
So, it's the same thing with us, Dominic. We loved My Hero Academia in the beginning.
Absolutely.
There was a point in our podcast where every week we just talk about the latest My Hero Academia chapter. It wasn't like a hey, this is our manga segment. It'd just be like, we all love My Hero Academia. Let's talk about it. This chapter was so good. And then that at some point just stopped. Just stopped.
The characters never mattered. You idiots. How dare you get invested in the thing that I told you to get invested on?
Oh, you like meters?
Sebastian says,
Kick rocks.
Can we please do T23 after this, because I need my peak fiction to get rid of this shit from my memory.
Are we gonna do some T23?
We'll
When's
see
the
how
last
long
time?
this takes.
Maybe we'll hit some Last of Us instead.
But like, what would have been the difference if, let's just say, Mino wasn't there, and it's just like, oh, is she dead? Did she not have time? What would be the difference? Functionally, nothing.
Yeah, we just have more questions.
Just
one more
Grape
question.
Rush just dies off screen, and he just goes, ever since Grape Rush died, we haven't really gotten together. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we weren't supposed to care about that.
let's make sure we're clear on the foundation of this story. As we
I don't want to be here, dude. We can't be doing this, y'all. I'm too old. we're too. How old is this channel?
We all remember, My Hero starts with this quote from Deku: "People are not born equal."
He's really about to talk about the thematic
You see,
and how it
because
came
he
full
said it
circle.
again. And
can't.
that's how the thing here and the thing then, and therefore good.
We can't be here for this.
Close curtain.
That's the first quote and probably the most important for a couple of reasons, but mainly because it lets us know that this is a story of status and bias. The next important quote comes from All Might: "You can be a hero." This is important for Deku's character arc, but it also comes into play throughout the story as we are faced with the question of what it really means to be a hero. Finally, the last quote is from Deku again. "This is the story of how I became the greatest hero." And after the last chapter, this has created a divide in the community because it naturally gives you the impression that Deku would become the single best hero.
Hey, the words on the page!
Don't
You
be
thought
that.
that he was gonna be these things as he said it, but I guess you were tricked because it didn't happen. He said, oh, this is how I became the greatest hero, and then he didn't. And it's your fault for thinking that he would become the greatest hero. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry that I read the page and I believed what happened on the page.
See,
I'm sorry.
This would be different for something like a character in a video game who goes, I'm gonna become the greatest bad. And that's
also, keep in mind, also,
And that's how I became the greatest hero, because I inspired the heroes to blah, blah, blah. That would be different.
It's a turn of...
Yeah. I became the greatest hero by becoming the greatest villain and having everybody bandy together and all this extra stuff. No! You lied to
This
us!
is essentially a lie. You're going, well, why did you believe the things that were on the page? Well, I have no reason to believe that the author would lie to me.
This is the story of how I peaked in high school. This is the same video. Do you see the themes?
story, and with that expectation, a lot of people were hoping that in the final chapter, you would get to see Deku as the single greatest hero. Obviously, things
Yes, I don't see why that's a problem. I don't see how that's what somebody would get wrong.
Weird expectations.
When we're told on the page, I became the greatest hero. Does anybody say that Deku is the greatest hero? All Might does, I guess. But he can say that to Tape Guy.
You can say it's a Bakugo, Todoroki, Endeavor.
He could be in a diabetic shock, and then Sugar Rush gives him an almond joy. He goes, "Oh, you're my hero," and then
The
Sugar Rush
greatest
be like,
hero.
"This is how I became All Might's hero." It's like, well, I guess, but that's not really what I thought was gonna happen here.
quite turn out that way. And we'll talk about why I think Horikoshi
Deku
planned things
became
out this
the
way from
employee
day
of the
one,
month.
but keep in mind that all three of these quotes come into play in the final chapter. But for now, we have this idea that the story will follow Deku as he aims to become the top hero. And for the most part, this is exactly what we get. We see him
Why are
learn-
you showing somebody who's not Deku, and this in no way informs Deku's journey to become the greatest hero?
So the story was never about Deku becoming the greatest hero, but the story, for the most part, explored the theme
do
of
see
Deku
that.
becoming
But
the
we
greatest
do
hero.
see it.
Oh, okay.
to use his new power, we see him learn the ins and outs of the hero world, and we see him get to fight some bad
Do we
guys.
see him seeing the ins and outs of the hero world? Nagant just be like, I did some bad things. What's the ins and outs?
Wow,
that
I
he
never knew
sees?
that.
He is a student. What ins and out does he see? What corruption does he see? He does not understand the League of Villains' motivation until the very end.
But
Like,
early on,
society is kind of EO for us people who don't have glorious and fire quirks like him.
in the story, we soon learn that this system is flawed. And the first time we see this is with one of My Hero's
Who's
most
that?
iconic villains, Stain.
Yeah, see, he keeps mirroring the image for some reason.
In the first
Yeah, I went back. Did he say iconic?
You know he said iconic.
I guess I'm just kind of
Yeah.
used to it so much that it just doesn't stick in my mind. But then, when I thought about the words, he literally, oh my god. Deku never once questions anything. The god straight up tells him that, and he's like, oh no, anyway.
I'm gonna punch you now.
What did Stain do in the final arc? Be a hindrance and then die.
Yep. Actively hurt All Might, his hero.
The greatest villain,
Chris the
honestly.
Shield says,
Buffed him.
Deku, what are you doing? My chicken is cold. Get me your manager.
time we see this is with one of My Hero's most iconic villains, Stain. But before we get into that, make sure to like the video if you enjoy.
He's hitting all the greatest hits. He's hitting them all. Editorial interference may be a factor in the shifts, but the thing is, you could always point to editorial stuff if you want to. Hey, if for some reason this got it must be the editors. Well, sometimes the author came out with a great idea and they just had no idea of how to. No follow up.
I don't think
Harry
the
Potter
editorial-
is very much like that.
I don't think all the Bakugo stuff just being hammered into every little corner is editorial influence. Because it seems like that's what he was going for the entire time.
enjoying it so far. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it helps spread the video to other viewers like you. Now, with the introduction of Stain,
But what if I don't like the video?
Oh, I never noticed he got a nail as an earring.
Oh, you never noticed that?
Ew.
Yeah, no.
Oh, this edgy muff.
He is literally edgelord.
Oh, this guy stinks.
The greatest villain.
we're made to think about what a hero really is. Because we thought it was as simple as good versus evil, but here we have Stain saying that hero society is corrupt. Now,
Yes, he
obviously-
is saying it, and we're not really showcased with that.
And the little bit that we get showcased was in Ida going, I'm gonna go after you, and him going, are you a hero? Because you didn't even try to save the dude. And Ida's like, holy, you're right.
He went after Ingenium and ended his career. What did Ingenium do? What did all the people that he killed do? What do we know about the people that he killed? What were the billboards of, oh, here's this guy, but he's dead, but he was hawking this in whiskey? He just goes, the hero society is corrupt. People really care about money. We got Mountain Lady, but what else do we have? It's just these empty platitudes of just saying things and just going, this is what it is.
And he's a edgelord hippie. of just going the corporations, man. And
Man,
the
Elaine's
people-
writer says, honestly, Stain left so little of an impact in the final arc, I didn't even know he died.
There was no confirmation that he died, but there's no confirmation that he didn't. So I'm just gonna say the funny thing is that he died.
we didn't see a single panel of him afterwards.
No,
He's
he
dead.
did not.
He's dead.
But going back to this Stain stuff, he just goes, people should be real heroes like All Might. People only care about money. They should be like All Might, who has a huge tower, who has all these action figures and sponsorships and all this stuff. They should be like him, not like these people who have all these towers and sponsorships and action figures. What?
The only corrupt hero we see are Mineta and Endeavor. Everyone else still are, this is the right thing to do type of people.
My lady is
Yeah.
I want to join. I want to rise up the charts.
Why
But
did-
that's just her saying it.
Why did he kill 40 whatever the heroes? He lives in a society, guys. Dude's just a simp, honestly.
Stain was going about things the wrong way, but he was right about the system being corrupt.
You don't even have the words. You took them out.
It could just be to get rid of copyright issues.
Which I would assume is the mirror thing and the oversaturation as well.
It's not so much that the people in the system are evil or greedy. It's the flawed nature of the system itself that led to people calling for change. And while you can probably...
What system? You talk about Stain, you just go, hey, he's one of the most iconic things. You explain his reasoning, but you don't explain what the issues with the system is and what he's doing to change it and why it
Unknown
needs to
Gaming
be
XL
changed.
says, now guys,
Point.
That's gotta be a voice alert. Why haven't I had now guys yet?
argue there's more, it really comes down to four things.
I gotta clear up some
The
of those
first problem
alerts,
is the crime fighting, because the whole comic book story is about good guys versus bad guys. And that's what All Might is all about. Except, stopping the villains doesn't do so much, because when the heroes stop Stain, it inspires the League of Villains. And whenever All Might stops All for One,
No, it's not stopping Stain, it's Stain's ideology. They heard Stain, they heard what he was about, and they followed him. Letting him go unfettered would have changed nothing, except more dead heroes. This is very much when people are like, hey, they should have just ignored them and then the signal would have got boosted and then people would... No, if you let stupid go unfettered, it's just gonna reach people.
It's happening. The thing is happening.
it just inspires him to come back again. So that's the first problem.
So don't
Another-
stop him. Otherwise, he's just gonna come back again.
Yeah, just let him
no
go.
jutsu Satan. And he will fall down.
So why is there not another Shigaraki? Why is there another All for One? Why is there not another Toga, another Twice, another Compress?
Because society was fixed. ... somehow.
Another Spinner.
He's actively out there hawking his message. Going to League of Villains, yo. We was so awesome.
Another problem is the way All Might inspires everyone as the best hero, because while it does place him as the symbol of peace, it also creates unrealistic expectations in heroes.
He did not switch to a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 soundtrack. This is the goofiest. Yeah, this is the goofiest soundtrack.
Society. On the bottom, it leaves people like Deku at the center of discrimination, and at the top, it drives people like Endeavor to go completely batshit crazy, to the point where he passes.
But that's the only person that we see chasing after All Might like that.
Yeah.
You don't say people, you say person. Because Kamui Woods, the very first hero attack, the hero villain thing that we see is Kamui Woods and Mount Lady stopping somebody. They're not like, oh, All Might is gonna do it. It's like, no, we are here. We're gonna stop this right now. So people are still out there trying to fight villains and heroes. They're not just relying on All Might.
And also the other part of your argument, which is like it leaves people like Deku, blah 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 blah. But Deku's the only person we see that's really hurt by not having a quirk, because one of All Might's best friends is some just non-quirked cop
Who just has no conclusion.
No, he's out of here.
But I could have, the whole time I'm just like, oh, he's the traitor.
Yeah,
Obviously.
same. No, but
no.
But yeah, it's just some dude. So who's hurt? Who do we see that's like Deku all super sad about it?
Yeah. And again, if it is the case, do something. If your role to want to be a hero is to help people, do something to help people. You don't have to be a hero, but he wants to be a hero. And that's his own thing.
You could be on cleanup duty. That could help. That's gonna help society. That's gonna help people.
passes those unrealistic expectations onto 2 of his children and completely rips his family apart. And
Pizza Steak
speaking of,
says, how did All Might make Bakugo tell Deku to kill himself?
Forced them to.
If you're not the best like All Might, you deserve to die. There should be 2 people on this planet, me and All Might. And in a couple years, there's gonna be 1 person on this planet, because All Might will have killed himself, because I'm the best now.
Yeah, so everybody Minecraft, please.
Yeah, get out of here.
of the symbol of peace, that's actually another problem. Because on the one hand,
and he has these 2 examples, and there's literally nothing else in this series. There's nobody else that's just like, dang, I can't be like All Might, and my mind is broken, and there's nobody like, dang, I want to be a hero so bad, but there's nothing I can do. Shinzo does not want to become a hero because of All Might that we know of. Might be some,
yeah,
but that's you have 2 examples. It's just like, what society, y'all? No, that's not.
Oh, it's F4, y'all.
That's not, your evidence does not track like that. It doesn't work like that.
and All Might is great because villains know that if they're not careful, they might get caught by a strong hero, and in that sense, everyone lives in peace.
No, because there are still villains doing things.
Yes.
The Ghoul villain was out and about, bro. After encountering All Might, he still tried some
Hours later.
Like, let's not.
But we see time and time again that this idea of peace is pretty simplistic and fails to resolve much bigger problems. We see it with Twice when he completely loses his mind and there's no one to help him. We see it with Toga when we learn that she was always treated as a
Yes,
freak.
this is an issue.
Yeah.
What is All Might to do? How did All Might cause this?
Yeah, there are people that are, the society as a whole, and then there's individuals. You can't control what an individual is going to do, no matter how much society is a thing. Society could be the lowest.
Unknown
America
Gaming
could
XL
have.
says, AFO yo buddy, what position did you do? Missionary? Doggy? Gotta fertilize the egg for me.
Impregnate
man.
your wife.
Impregnate her, please get her. Hey, yo, knock her up, bro. Just for me. But America can have the lowest crime, the lowest violence, the lowest gun violence, the lowest blah blah in 100-year history. But there's still gonna be 5 people doing gun violence, 5 people doing crime. It doesn't mean that everything is fixed. Because it's a time of peace.
How is All Might being the greatest hero and making people feel safe mean that there can't be adequate court counseling? Where's the correlation there? How Toga's just a freak. How is that society's fault? Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, she went into court counseling, but it didn't work. Oh, thanks. That's enough.
Hey, you know who else was treated like La Brava? And all she wants to do is help Gentle become known.
And she just, it becomes a programmer. Why not? What happened? He didn't want to be a hero anymore? What? I love them. They're great. I'm happy that they're together. But programming
The
a
wedding
company,
rings is all I needed.
peak. But that's just another thing of just like, well, that was her whole goal. I guess she did accomplish that. But Gentle wanted to be a hero. He wanted to be known. He's known, so he just shifts over to something. Just like, I'd like more of that.
Yeah, please show us more Gentle.
You felt the need to showcase, hey, here's what they're doing, but not how they got here. And
Give
it
me
just seems
20
kind
chapters of Gentle, please.
Well, that's obviously not going to happen. If you remember the last popularity poll, that month was like 68. So
disgusting.
They're not rocking with our boy Gentle.
Well, he's the
He's
best.
holding up the school.
The best.
Going, I'm doing it, Deku. I'm doing it for you. You changed me in so, and then the camera just slowly starts to pan over to Bakugo as his voice just gets quieter and quieter. As if I'm a Bravo, and I just wanted to be a hero, and I'm
Deku, you nerd! Why don't you just punch him, Deku?
And that's what happened there. And it's the worst. Gentle carrying the series like he's carrying them off in school.
When Gentle's holding up the school, we need to be asking, where's Bakugo?
Where is he though? Oh, he's still on the ground with a hole in his chest. Oh, okay.
Oh, kids still get
Obvious
quirked that hurt them
reasons.
like Dobby for
Obvious
sure.
reasons.
Absolutely.
Obvious reasons.
Thank you for the super chat. So this is starting to sound like a Superman argument. What can All Might do to stop the discrimination, fix the material, the mental health care system, or hell rape? He can't do everything and be everywhere. He just can't.
If he was not the symbol of peace, would that spur people to make quirk counseling? How?
Again, this was explored in a Powerpuff Girls episode where they're just having the girls do simple issues like open this can of pickles for me, this jar of pickles. So they're like, we're not doing for y'all no more. And then an actual threat comes and they're like, well, we just gotta kind of bandy together. But All Might cannot open your jar of pickles, I'm sorry!
BTW isn't Gentle's quirk pretty much the same as a random class 2A student whose quirk was solid air?
But better!
Is this character that we care about? He's the best.
Yeah, he's the best.
because of the way she was born. And we see it with Spinner and the other heteromorphs who are discriminated against.
Don't do it, big dog. This ain't the argument we're going against.
We're not allowing
the heteromorph that was discriminated against in the 3 panels that we saw that. Nah, homie,
we're not allowing this racism bush to permeate.
Hey, this is what happened. Yes, it did happen. We're told that. Genocides. Never mentioned it before, but it happened. Don't you feel bad? Why would I?
Simply because
Can
of
I
the way
explain who Pigman is? How much time you got? The Big Punch ended racism. Big Punch and a dumb pig man and his pontification about, and hey, you guys, maybe we shouldn't do this.
way they look. So while All Might is the symbol of peace, this symbol is flawed because,
Cotton
as
D.
we
Hope
see,
says, even with the symbol of peace, Desto and Overhaul have massive crime organizations that are decades old.
Like, what is he supposed to do
All
about that?
Might, why aren't you stopping that?
Why didn't you just stop All for One, All Might? Why isn't he just gone?
There are hero rankings, so that means that other heroes are doing things. There's up to the 90s in terms of heroes. So they're not all scared that All Might is gonna come. So they're still doing crimes. So there's enough people to vote for the 78th hero spray bottle man. Because he wiped their windows one time.
So he's at the gas station just pumping that.
So they think he's a homeless guy. It's like, I got you, man. Oh, thanks. Give him $1. Like, what the? I'm a hero. That's my billboard right there. Oh, it changed. It's one of those electric billboards. It's gonna come back around in 5 minutes. They drive off.
No, just wait here, bro. I swear, please. All right, give me your number. I'll text you.
I'll show you, Jim. Please.
I ain't need your dollar no way.
many times throughout the
pockets it.
story, the definition of peace depends on which person you ask and what their circumstances are.
Well, yes.
Yes, but All Might cannot do everything. And it's not like they showcase All Might doing everything because he's not teaching all the classes.
He sucks as a teacher.
He completely sucks. He has to run it rampant for that poor little grade school teacher. He's not sitting there just going, kids, do the right thing. No, he can't be everything in all ways. But if there's somebody who can make a tornado by farting, maybe All Might can take care of it. If he can't, well, here comes the number 7 muff. And they're gonna take
Big
care of it.
Hand. She can counter
Oh,
the
here
win.
comes Big Hands. Where's she in the final chapter?
I love Big Hands. Where's Big Hands?
Where's Big Hands?
Because while one person might need saving from a villain, another person could be in danger because of the town they live in or the biases of the people around them.
Yes, I'm sorry. All Might can't
Yes.
cure racism.
All Might was never like, I'm gonna be everywhere.
I'm gonna stop prejudice. You can't.
He has a time limit, and after that time limit, he don't do anything. So even then, he knows things are gonna happen, but people are out there. I am the symbol of peace, but I'm not stopping all crimes, and the people can't expect him to do that.
Does he want him to be like that kid in the Twilight Zone where everybody be nice or you get sent to the cornfield? Like, what are you supposed to do?
Even when
Jay
Shigaraki,
says, the symbol of peace, Pigman.
Man.
don't make us time you.
What is All Might gonna do to fix Detroit? crime and poverty. What can All Might do to fix poverty?
Economy. But even when Shigaraki was a kid and the old lady was just like, oh man, this kid's kind of screwed up. Maybe another hero would take care of that. She didn't say All Might would take care of that. She said another hero.
Everybody loves Pony.
And as an extension of this, there's one more problem with the hero system. Namely that while All Might and other heroes pledge to save everyone, this idea gets widely misinterpreted. Because in their quest to save the most people, many people then neglect the importance of saving one person at a time. Time and time again, we see tragedies that could have been stopped if someone had simply lent a helping hand.
But if they don't know about it, it's not like they ignored it. People, for the most part, aren't ignoring Eri. She's just in the shadows getting abused.
And who's going, I want to save as many people as possible? Lemillion and Deku? It's just like, I want to do what I can. If there's a fire, I'm sorry, but Ravity's not really doing too much there.
Well, she could maybe
float the fire?
No, float the dirt and like dump a big thing of dirt on it. That might put out the fire.
That would help.
Yeah, see, she could do some. It's Froppy. What is Froppy doing to a fire? Cooked. Frog legs on the pyre, boys.
Honestly, a lot of the Class 1B was great. Half of them should have been replaced by Class 1A.
T-Rex 525 says, "This is some there are starving children in Africa argument."
Legit, dude, crazy bars. Who cares how good you're doing here? There's still some homeless dude down the block. Shut up.
But that big wind, man, I'm like, when is he showing up in the final arc? This is kind of important, and he was real strong, y'all.
That's just people being people. You can't just beam call for help into regular civilians. Absolutely. Like, what are they supposed to do?
Grandma was the reason for Shigaraki. Don't put that on All Might.
There's a page of a Superman comic where some kid's getting abused in the basement and Superman just playing with him, and if Superman finds out, just starts walking up to the dad, and dad's like, "You got no right to be here," and he just is shaking in his boots. But how is Superman supposed to know intrinsically that this boy is getting abused without asking him? Coincidentally found out. Deku and Lemillion coincidentally found out about Eri. If they were 2 minutes later, she'd still be getting cooked.
What's Tape Guy doing for mental health problems? Especially when this argument is, I don't know nothing about this sadness stuff. We gotta wrap this up. I got a Coke in the freezer.
We gotta wrap this up, pool cake.
Oh, shut the fuck! If that would have happened, it was just like, I am dropping this.
I don't know nothing about what's going on. But we gotta wrap this up.
Dude, Awful One would have been stunned. He would have disintegrated on point.
That's what I would have thought. Oh yeah, he captured him because he just don't know what just happened there.
That was what he wanted to go with, the miracle shaking his butt thing, which is like, he's just so flabbergasted. He's like, oh, I guess I'm done. I'm cooked. You got me.
Because this motherfucker,
does he know who I am?
He did not say that.
Let's wrap this up.
Tape Man versus Awful One is in the history books. There's gotta be a sentence somewhere just like cellophane wrapped him up.
Oh man.
Because heroes are too busy
So
saving
saying your life is in a sticky situation.
everyone, and because the common people think, oh well, All Might will save them because he saves everyone, nobody pays any mind to the people right in front of them. We see this with Gentle and how even though he can't reach
Buster
thousands of people—
says, "Let's wrap this up. Put it on a t-shirt. The merchandise goes crazy."
Dude, put it on a shirt.
Let's wrap this up.
What a shocking dinky. We're not doing and catchphrases for these nobody.
viewers, he's able to make an impact on La Brava's life. We also see it with Shigaraki, who walked by so many people after the death of his family, and yet nobody stopped to help him.
But nobody said All Might would stop that.
Yeah, no, what can they do? These are regular people that just let a kid walk by while he's covered in blood or whatever.
That's the Hero Society issue, not an All Might
That's a
issue.
individual person issue. Where they see somebody that needs help and they don't help.
So in a bunch of different ways, we're constantly shown throughout the story.
No,
that
in those two ways that weren't even the correct ways.
Feel the rush, sugar rush.
Oh, it's about to get froggy in here.
I'll make your day sweeter, sugar rush. Great brush. I'm gonna grope you. Well, that's not a great one.
the system of having the top hero and everyone wanting to be crime fighters is flawed, and that in order to fix the system, we need a paradigm change.
This one's for you, more.
Tape Man versus All for One equals Master Roshi versus Black Racer.
Oh.
Thank you for the super chat soul. Taste the great. Prepare to get graped.
Heads or tails?
In other words,
MF
this
Chris
society
says,
needs
Tomb.
to rethink what it means to be a hero. Like I mentioned before, we see this with Gentle, who saves La Brava by changing her life for the better. We see this with Night Eye when he says that you can't be a hero unless you make people smile, implying that being a hero means lifting people out of their trauma and tragedies. And most importantly, we see this with Jiro in the Culture Festival
So,
when she
what is All Might supposed to do about a sad girl with self-esteem issues?
Yes, there's only so much a hero can do. There's only so much a person can do. I'm bugging out, Animal. Tanny, it's great.
What a blast! What, this have made it better or worse?
Just 0 hour catchphrases.
struggles to decide between being a hero and being a musician, but her parents tell her that musicians and heroes are the same because they both help people, telling readers that being a hero means making change in the lives of others. Funny enough, the Culture arc was almost the perfect precursor to the final chapters, because while the Culture Festival—
Don't do that. The Culture Festival is one of the greatest arcs in all of Jump. I'm not My Hero, not Show Jump.
is one of the best arcs because it does such a good
Stay
job of
frosty,
exploring what it
Shoto.
means to be a hero.
Time
To
to
this
get
day, it's
jacked.
still considered one of the most boring arcs in the story. And in a nearly identical turn of events, everyone is saying the end of My Hero is completely lame, even though it does such a good job of executing on its core themes. Now,
It is irrelevant on how it does executing on those things.
I'm fastest boy eater. Just nothing, there's no subtlety.
with the Culture Festival, people didn't like the gentle fight so much, and they didn't like the slice of life high school stuff. But there's none of that here, so what's the deal? Why don't people like the ending? Like I said in the beginning, there's a ton of different reasons, but from what I can tell,
Jay
there's a few
says, Shoto had a cold personality when he was introduced.
Yeah, and then it slowly melted away as he got closer to using his heat.
You're about to get these hands, big hands.
I am Daku Midori.
common complaints.
It's like I'm gonna
First of all,
punch
even
you.
before we got these last few chapters, people were pretty disappointed by the final fights. A lot of people still feel as though these fights were just plain boring and bad, and it doesn't help that they were followed by more than a few ass pulls.
So don't you think that could carry into the final chapters as they are not really resolved?
Yeah.
As it's just like, oh, here's this flower dude and Belly Button and Invisible Girl, take them out in half a chapter.
And a lot of people don't like how Deku and Ochako were handled. To be fair, Horikoshi handled things in a way where it's kind of open to interpretation, because Deku and Ochako...
Yes, that's part of the problem. So when things are open to interpretation, you're making your own story, but you're also not getting any actual conclusion. So anybody can speculate anything that's going on, but that's not satisfying if anything is possible, because we don't know what actually happened.
What would have been the difference if you're talking about it's left open-ended and people were left to speculate, if it was just the final chapter was one page and it just said things got better? That's all speculation. What would be the difference if we're just speculating on so many things
Chris
and then
says,
things are left to
Damn, I am shocked.
interpretation?
Denki.
Universal Instinct Goku, Angel Seed Goku, Autonomous Dragon Force.
I'm going to hell for this one, but let the grape happen and flow down your throat of evil. Grape. Thank you for the super chat soul. Looks like I'm going to need a miracle. Here's your burger and milkshake with the fries. Tackle. Don't be afraid, civilian. I'm armed. 6-arm guy. 6-arm guy. Don't mess with me. I'm army tentacle.
have a one-on-one, they spend some time together, and we even see Ochako wearing what appears to be Deku's mask. But at the same time...
That is just a mask.
Yes.
That is not Deku's mask.
We don't
What
know.
sense would it make to wear somebody's mask that was custom fitted for them? That makes no sense. Why would that be a part of your hero costume when you should be regulating your quirk?
Is that actually the edge shot thing, or did Bakugo get those made for him?
It is simply not her, and it's also just not his mask. And if it was, it could have just been a gift and nothing else. But it's not, because we see a front facing shot of it, and it's a completely different shape.
Explicitly say they're a couple, and considering the kids all go their own ways in the time
When
skip,
have we ever seen a hero
says,
couple?
Don't be afraid, because I am here, stray bottle man.
But when have we ever seen a hero couple where they're wearing each other's armament? It just makes no sense. It's a piece of equipment that's big and large that would hinder her hero work, that does nothing for her quirk, that does nothing for her abilities, but she's just gonna wear it because Deku and her are together.
Like,
that
if they
makes no
break up,
sense.
does she just slowly, sadly take it off?
you could argue that the two of them barely talk anymore. So if you shipped the two characters, then you got less than you were hoping for. And if you didn't like this ship, then you may feel as though Horikoshi is pushing it on you. Finally,
but we've got nothing
Yeah.
about it, and that's what the issue is.
If I guess your argument is try to satisfy nobody, so it satisfies everybody, but it satisfied nobody. That's the end of the day. You're supposed to hate it because you're supposed to not be satisfied. Well, I'm not satisfied.
How about actually satisfying people instead of having people
Cameron
satisfy
Bailey
themselves?
Says, well, we see Waterhose wearing the same costume. Does that count?
Water hose?
What hero couples have we seen? The only hero couple I know that's even in a relationship is Lock Rock, because he fell for the Snow Bunny mind control.
Fell for that whiteness.
What's that dude's name? Doctor, whatever his name is. That's all about, yo, black men don't be with them white women.
But if
A
we
lot
would have
of
seen
people-
some indication of that, it would have been more prevalent that it's just like, okay, this is what they do. But it's just simply not his mask. I've done the comparison in terms of the shape. It's not it. And it makes no sense for it. Because you could easily
I've
just
done
be like,
the data.
it's Ida's mask because it's a similar shape as Ida's, but it's not. It's just a mask.
Waterhose and Kamui Woods and My Lady are in a relationship.
Who the is Waterhose?
don't like what happens with Deku in his work. On the one hand, he does get the armor, so he can still be a hero, but he loses one for all and
somebody
becomes
just
a
named
teacher while
Waterhose.
everyone else becomes pro-heroes and kinda leaves him behind. Which, if you ask me, is perfectly represented by all of the
Cody's
top-tier
parents.
McDonald's memes. Now, these
Sebastian
are all-
says, the hero sponsorships,
Ask
hey
these
kids, it
niggas
is me,
about the
Minetta, come buy
fucking
my grape juice
lollies.
from my grape balls, especially you airy smirk winking face.
Dude, he said, Ari, when you grow up, can't wait. Yeah, Coda said parents, but they're dead already.
Yeah. They're wearing similar outfits, but that doesn't. I'm asking for they're wearing an outfit that incorporates another person's thing.
Like Endeavor's mask.
Because
if Endeavor's mask was on his wife or something.
Because it stated they both have water-based quirks, so it makes sense for them to have water-based outfits.
All fairly different complaints, but what it boils down to is that this ending is just too cliched. It's just one of those endings where it does everything it's supposed to, but nothing it should have. In other words, this ending does a great job of executing on the story's central themes and—
No. It doesn't do a great job of that. All it does is give you the bones of a chapter.
Things have gotten better. There are quirk counseling now. Racism is better. Hero work is down because villains are down. It's just saying all these things and not really showcasing how we got to this point. So it's just society has changed. What would have happened if it was just like a year time skip as they're in school and just like society has changed? There's functionally no difference.
Embodying the messages Horikoshi is trying to get across to readers, but beyond that, it adds nothing to the story and it does nothing to surprise readers.
Pizza Steak says, just realized, I think Deku is still using that musty backpack for over 8 years. You see it when he talks to the kids.
He's a broke boy.
Yeah, he's broke boy. He's a teacher. They don't make money. No, I don't care about being surprised. I care about being satisfied. This did not satisfy me. You could have surprised me and had Uraraka end up with Ida. That would have been a surprise. And maybe I even would have been satisfied if I got a story of how they got together and everything and how Deku, blah, 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 and he ended up with Froppy or something.
But it was nothing other than empty platitudes of things are better.
Ending where everything you see is pretty much how you imagined it would go down with no last-second twists or shocking moments. As an example, one story that I feel has an absolutely perfect ending is Fire Force, because—
Whoa! Absolutely perfect ending. No issues here. What's the problem, y'all?
Oh my god.
All right. Absolutely perfect. And this ending even more perfect. What's the problem? Fire Force and My Hero equally perfect.
Oh, dude.
Damien Birange says, see it all comes to circle.
No.
Perfect.
How could you say this? I guess he's gonna talk about it thematically and as in terms of the inner workings of the chapter itself. But my God, you can't show me Fire Force and say perfect in the same.
With this doo-doo ending, you just go, it's just like Fire Force, and you're smiling and doing a thumbs up. It's like, no. That's not the reaction you should have. That's not what's going on here.
Fire Force does everything it's supposed to, but
it's perfect because it does what it's supposed to do.
I really don't want to hear the rest.
I also don't want to hear no kind of glazing of Fire Force
Of all series
in a My Hero video. Like, hey, yo, what's up?
Dude, there's so many things to glaze. I would have accepted a Naruto glaze.
Bleach, something. But he just goes,
I would have talked about it. I would have laughed about it. But Fire Force?
Universe changing and fire gods and shut up.
Soul Eater.
perfect ending is Fire Force, because Fire Force does everything it's supposed to, but it goes beyond. Not only does it answer all of your questions, but it also creates new ones to think about. It shocks readers.
Yeah, but it's bad! I don't care that it did the things! It did it
Sebastian
bad!
says, I think we can all agree. This is already a Hall of Fame video.
Dude, that took it over the top. It's without question. It does not answer.
Because let's say that My Hero does answer questions. Who got together? In Mina and Jiro.
That's
did
Naruto.
Did they have any interaction? No, but it answered the question of who got together. It's like, well, that doesn't really do anything. Who's Deku's dad? Oh, it was in Snipe. He was his dad all along. It answered the question, but it doesn't answer the question satisfactorily.
Oh.
I'm there, Fire Force, man! Come on!
Dude, and it's probably gonna be like a minute of glaziness. I don't want to be here for a minute.
And
of
then it's
Fire
gonna
Force.
tie into and therefore my hero good. And therefore Fire Force good, my hero good. You're wrong about my hero. I don't want to hear this, bro. Themes, Fire Force. Who could possibly?
Not only does it answer all of your questions, but it also creates new ones to think about. It shocks readers in ways that leave everlasting impressions, and most
I don't remember this.
C says, main character in Fire Force turns into God and it reveals that it's a Soul Eater prequel. This shit sucks Hall of Fame.
And he's going, it was perfect because it answered questions and then there were more questions.
Think about. It shocks readers in ways that leave everlasting impressions, and most importantly, it completely changes your appreciation for the story as a whole. With Fire Force, I had to rethink how I viewed the entire story.
I did too once I was just like, this is so what the f this is trash. Was this always a thing?
After rereading the ending, I didn't get that. I was satisfied, but there was no wow factor. There was no magic. At least not like in earlier parts of the story. So if all of this is true, if this ending is so lame and so predictable, then what's so great about it? Well, the reason this ending is still so good is because of the ways it executes on everything it set up. In the final fight against All for One, we see a conflict of one versus we, which at first appears to...
See, it's kind of like their
objectively
names.
good.
All for one, so there's only one, and then one Deku for all, everybody, and it kind of ties into their names and the everlasting struggle of these. There's almost 5 minutes left of this.
Yeah, there is.
I'm hoping for a big please subscribe Patreon. Yeah. Get me out of here.
to be all for one versus the world, but when you look at it more
Smon
carefully,
Explains Comics says, who is this we?
Who is this we? We?
there's a conflict of ideas between
You're looking at it. He is analyzing the theme ending, and therefore we all defeated him and conflict, all this stuff. But what about these characters? What are they doing? How is society better?
versus the world, but when you look at it more carefully, is a conflict of ideas between one person carrying the world versus everyone working together. Later, when Endeavor...
No, you don't have to look at it closely because he just says, I'm gonna take over the world, and all those people going, no, we don't want that. There is no closer. It is just the thing.
They literally shout, we are here.
It's the thing. I want to rule everything. We don't want to be ruled by you. But you have to do a closer look to see it's an ideals battle. No?
Theme's so good, characters don't matter. Legitimately.
and his family visit Dobby, we see that
getting
it's
fired
less
up
than a
in
magical
Denver.
ending. His family is still pretty messed up. Dobby is a total mess, and Natsu even admits that he wants nothing to do with his dad regardless of what he does. Despite that, Endeavor vows that he will dedicate the rest of his life to making amends. Suggested,
and we are told this, and we see one panel further of him just sitting there and getting wheeled away, and nothing else. Nothing like, instead of the Red Riot thing of just like, oh, we're doing
on you.
we're doing an exposition on Red Riot. It could have just been, and here's another showcase of Endeavor doing his charity work as he has been doing for the past 8 years. Nothing. He just goes, I'm gonna spend my life atoning. Okay, I guess he just did, or he didn't.
And who cares?
He could have had a heart attack off screen, and for all we know. He could have gone back to his old ways for all we know. He could have just got lazy and not been able to do it for all we know. He could have physically not been able to do it for all we know. We don't know. We just been told that, yes, he is gonna do this thing, and I trust that Horikoshi is gonna follow through with that. I would like to see that.
that the value of his work is in the change it makes for others, not in the way it affects Endeavor, not in the thanks he gets or the life he gets back. In chapter 426, we see Hawks talking with Lady Nagant, who says she wants to see how things will change. But then Hawks responds by asking, how will we change things? Implying that nothing's going to change if we wait for others, that we have to be the change we want to see.
Okay, Hawks was number 3, presumably when All Might was number 1. That means that he was not waiting for things to change. He was out there changing things. So this isn't at the very end just like, oh, we all have to do something. No, they were always doing something.
I mean, that man was going on covert missions and all types of shit.
Everybody was always helping out. What hero is just like, dang, we're All Might? The people were like that. Of course they were, because they're the people. But what hero is just like, dang, I'm cooked if I go near that?
And Midnight was on the front line. Her power is pheromones. She doesn't have much going for her.
Then in the time skip, we see that the two most important programs are Shoji's program.
We done cleared racism. We done cleared quirk problems.
You are one of them bums where you are told that this is done, and you're just like, well, it is done. So it's good because it's done. No! You can't just go in 8 years, racism big down. In 8 years, one of the most important programs is done by this 25-year-old. Don't know how she does it. Don't know what she's doing. Don't know nothing about it. But it's here and therefore it's good. You think that's good to just say, hey, things are getting better?
The ideals. AFO, I want to make you all my slave and to get my little brother back. Everyone else know. Fuck you. And your brother said you an edge bitch.
Yeah, those are the ideal.
Well, it's just legit, just like everything is better. What's the problem?
Help heteromorphs, and Ochiko's quirk counseling program. A pretty obvious response to the
Hey! What does quirk counseling do?
What?
Do they talk to people?
How did she improve it?
What is quirk counseling?
What is it? No, but she did it, so it's good.
And they say it's good.
So what's the problem? Things is moving, y'all. Fire Force.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
The up.
And Ochiko's quirk counseling program. A pretty obvious response to the flaws in the old system that led to the discrimination against Toga and other villains. Why I like this ending so much is because it takes the time to address all of the flaws in the old system.
Yes, it takes the time to address it by going, racism is
Smart
better.
Explains Comics says, Hawk's Eagle Spear.
Oh no.
All the proposals that were made throughout the story.
But he make it addresses it by addressing it, and that's it. You can't just be like, it's better.
It's very much how I feel a lot of times when we see works of Batman, where it's like, oh, his parents died, and then it's been 10 years, he's been training with the League of Shadows, and now he's a master of all these blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, I would have liked to have seen that work put in. I didn't see the work put in for the quirk program. I didn't see the work put in for the racism thing. I'm just told these programs are super important.
And you like it because it's addressing it by going, it's better. It brought up the racism not 40 chapters ago. You're just like, they're addressing the systematic racism. They addressed it by addressing it by going, it exists, and now they're just going, it is now getting better. They
created a problem in the 0 hour and then saved it at hour 1. And you're like, well, they solved it. It would have been great if we saw, like, a super powerful hero that was a heteromorph, but they were always outside the top 5 no matter what they did, because society would not accept a heteromorph as the top 5 hero. Small things like that would have been great.
Couldn't even get that.
Nothing
small like that.
Miracle left the Hero Society because she looks more like a bunny than she does now. She just straight up looks like a rabbit.
Her quirk was evolving because to compensate for the lack of her leg and arm,
and now she's outside of it because they would never give her a replacement even though she was great. Something like that.
MF Chris says, it's Hagen time, Pigman.
It's Hagen time.
Address all of the flaws in the old system, lay out all the proposals that were made throughout the story, and
what proposals? The proposals were, it is now fixed.
What proposals are you talking about?
What proposals did Tentacle make? He's solving racism peacefully.
I saw a handshake and then he's doing a good job. What proposals?
Shows readers what those would actually look.
And Dominic, I appreciate those types of comics, those types of stories where we're seeing Batman train and go through all that learning of martial arts and such, as opposed to the, hey, Batman's here, you know the story, blah, 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 let's get to it.
Like in practice. It pretty much spells out in black and white, hey, how we viewed things before was wrong, this is how we need to look at these problems now. And this is why I love...
What did Uraraka... What we did before was wrong. How was it wrong? What was it before? And how did she change it? It's changed. You are adding all those things.
This man is the anti-DA, his Bizarro, his Reverse Flash, your Kryptonite. This is one of the best rivalries.
Is there a chance that there's never another Toga?
You can't say that.
You can't say that. It's not solved. It's better.
And we don't know how it's better. We don't know how much it's better. We don't know how it was before. But he's just filling in the blanks of, well, it was bad before and now it's good now. So it addressed the problem that it was Hero Society before.
How many Togas were there before Toga and how many Togas were there after Toga? We don't know. So we don't know how big of a widespread problem this was.
Empty platitudes of it is getting better.
Of how Deku is handled, because
court counseling was an issue with Toga, introduced there, solved by the end. Racism with Spinner, there, resolved at the end.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Look at these problems now. And this is why I also love how Deku is handled, because we expect his
Dragon Instinct Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku.
Thank you for the super chat. Hope. Do I have to create an ass whooping, Momo?
see Deku as the top hero, but then everyone else becomes amazing pro heroes and he's just a teacher. Except this is exactly what Horikoshi wanted to do, because when Deku was fighting Shigaraki and All for One, we see everyone rooting for Deku.
MHA address racism like RWBY. They talk about it, don't really go into detail. It's used for cheap points for world building, and when they don't need it they kill the bad guy and racism is over.
Yep, and we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're done. Pigman becomes prime minister? Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? He deserves it. He's went through decades of racism. Who? I don't know. I don't know.
We even see an explicit contrast to All Might. With All Might, everyone rooted for him because he was so strong. But with Deku, people are inspired to take action and not just watch from the sidelines. And this is exactly what happens. Deku inspires everyone else to be great heroes. He inspires all the pros to be the best heroes.
In what way? You see people just going, here's a shirt and here's some bandages. And then you get the old lady at the end going, oh, I'm better now. I caused Satan to become Satan, but now not no more.
There's nothing inherently different by what Deku and All Might are doing, except people already believe All Might to be great. So because of that, they're like, hey, we're rooting for All Might, as opposed to Deku, who's just some little kid trying to do his best. And we're like, oh, okay, Deku's just doing his best. We should all do our best. But All Might's already seen as the best. So of course it's going to be different. Be right back just in case. So the makers of the Borderlands movie is begging people to watch it. So it's that bad apparently. Thank you for the super chat. So
one of them Shazams where
hey, Anime Freak, I haven't seen you in a minute.
Where Levy is just like, please watch the movie. Yeah, that's always bad when that happens.
Yeah, so the story of, and this is very quick, the story of the Borderlands movie was that the dude that had wrote it beforehand was a writer of like The Last of Us and Chernobyl. I loved Chernobyl. I love that miniseries. They were writing that, and the people attached were like, this is a great script. And then the director came in and rewrote most of it, and to the point where it almost used none of the first dude's script, to the point he's like, hey, take my name off this. And now we got the product of the director. Release the writer cut of Borderlands.
Heroes they can be.
Oh yeah, we're all busy. I have comments that I need to reply to. I can probably do that today now because I don't have any. But man, work has been murdering me for a couple of weeks. Murdering me. I was down to 12 tickets. I checked in 4 days ago. I was at 47. What happened? I was doing so good.
Importantly, he inspires civilians to take action in their own lives and reach out to those in need. As we see with the old lady who helps the boy that looks an awful lot like
And
Shigaraki.
what else? That was the purpose, for you to feel this way.
Hey, All Might inspired a bunch of people to become heroes. What's
But
the difference?
What's the difference? No, but this is purely the gamer has recognized that society is healing. How do we showcase that? Slowly by doing
Heal
this.
society, Tanny. We're just gonna run through them all.
But no vignettes of here are small things. No, it has to be an exact mirror of what happened to Shigaraki with the exact same old lady for people like you to be like, well, see, things have changed. It has to be that explicitly blatant for it to be like society is healing. It has to be that shorthanded to be like, well, here it is. Obviously it's healing because the thing that happened before didn't happen now. The exact thing that hadn't happened with the exact person didn't happen now.
In this sense, chapter 430 is the perfect ending to My Hero because
Unknown
it
Gaming XL says, "You can't see me, invisible girl."
takes that message, the idea that we can't rely on any one person and we all need to be heroes in our own ways, and shows us exactly what that looks like. As a result,
Why are his avatars different resolutions?
Because he sucks.
Look at this one, and then look at that one.
Because he sucks.
They're such different resolutions.
It's fine.
not only does Horikoshi build a solid foundation for this theme in the beginning, but he succeeds in taking it to its final logical conclusion rather than giving us roundabout non-answers to some of the story's most important questions.
What? So we needed to show that society is healing. So he turns to the camera and goes, society is healing.
It's because people are upset that Deku didn't become the single best hero that we know.
No, it is a multitude of reasons. It's unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Horikoshi accomplished everything he set out
Arsenic
to.
says,
Now,
until Deku arrived, no one helped people before.
No one.
does that make it the perfect ending? Of course not. While I like the ending after carefully rereading it, I still think it could have been much better. It's too predictable, and I would even argue Horikoshi did too much to avoid addressing certain plot points or character arcs.
And so people cannot have issues with that.
Yeah.
It's only the fact that he didn't become the greatest hero.
That's the only
No,
thing.
it can't be a multitude of other reasons, and that is among them. Or that's just your biggest reasons, and you have another school full of other issues.
Because
These
of
people
this,
are just always pointing like, "Oh, you having this issue?" No, I have a lot of issues.
it's an inoffensive ending with nothing to really add. Like I told a friend,
Yes, when maybe it should have.
It's like adding a store-bought frosting to a gourmet cake. It doesn't hurt the rest of it, but it fails to create any real flavor or magic. That being said, I still
store-bought frosting is delicious.
think it's the perfect ending for this manga. And despite what everyone else may say, My Hero Academia will always be one of my favorite stories. But now I'd like to hear what you think. How would you rate the end of My Hero Academia? How would you change the ending? Share your thoughts and see what everyone else has to say down in the comments. I'll pick my favorite and share it as comment of the week on my community tab. And if you'd like another discussion like this one, then make sure to check out my video on My Hero's art style. In that video, I analyze My Hero
So
Academia.
here's a playlist of all of it.
Mia's artistic evolution. You can find that video in the playlist linked right here. Until then, thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, that's all the fame.
That's horrible, dude.
That was really bad. Oh,
People are not addressing the issue, the actual issues, and it's awful because they just say people are saying this, and then they just combat that with just but the themes though. But it was always shut up.
Shut up.
Can I not simply just go, hey, yo, what's Mina doing?
I want to see in Gentle more.
You
20
say,
chapters of Gentle, please.
You say Mirio
MF
is
Chris
the number
says,
one hero.
Why not call it Hall of Shame?
Nah,
Nah.
it's too late.
Leave
The channel's ending soon. We can't change it. But I would like to see Mirio happily saving people, which was his dream.
Yes.
He is the number one hero, presumably. How does he feel about that? We don't know. Top 5 character for me is Mirio. I don't know. All Might's eyes have changed. What does that mean? I don't know, but they have changed. He made a note to change them, but it's nothing. Why is it nothing?
It's predictable. Being predictable is not the issue.
It's not.
It's not. No, but there are very few people out there that cares about predictability. They care more so about whether the mechanisms of it are good, whether it's enjoyable. It's neither of those things.
Because if he becomes the greatest hero, that is predictable because he said he was going to. If he doesn't, that's predictable because there's only essentially he does or he doesn't. So it's going to be predictable either way. But it's what happens within it. It's not just what happens, it's what happens within it, how it gets there. I do not care about predictability.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're not doing no T.
Can we just check out this channel?
Oh my
Lusty
God!
says,
You're gonna
"This
give
is
it
what
to
it need
these
to do."
people?
Also, it didn't answer all the question laid out.
No.
Okay, it's nice to know you have double standards.
But in Fire Force, why is he just a Super Saiyan 4?
Let me take away the cooldown.
That was horrible, dude.
Yeah, that was
These muffs. is
Configuration
crazy.
updated successfully.
They are not cooking.
Address the issues, please.
I'm sorry, I always just laugh at the in Vegas.
MF Chris says, DSP time.
This is what you want.
Why is he a hat? Can we?
No, dude!
Because I'm curious about that.
Yes, it's always what it is with him. You'll never
He
learn.
mentioned that Cell has a right as he has everyone's DNA within him, and he is
Gaming and Viren
part of-
Bardock is here.
Bleach.
Everyone saw that, and with that, Guinea, Bardock, Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, all of them went and they powered up to the Super Saiyan 2, along with Gohan. And from the
Slow it down.
Oh yeah, I
He
forgot.
deserves it. Our king must be.
they charged right towards Majin Buu. Majin Buu smart
is
for him
that?
to call it quits since he couldn't beat Majin Buu. Majin Buu, on the other hand, began to go and power up a massive blast, and from there, Goku
Unknown
saw
Gaming
the
himself
moon.
says, have you seen DSP with Kino Casino?
Yeah, it's amongst the rush. How about not on his crotch directly? On a hard cut of his crotch, please.
This is the stuff where I'm just like, no, this is intentional.
Okay, it looks like he's commissioning somebody to draw his now, though.
Sure,
Gaming and
was a
Viren
full-
says, Zam Goku.
It's still there.
Moon that time. Upon seeing the full moon, Goku
Dude, it's still there.
begun to have some type of transformation since he still has his tail, as he began to go and transform to his golden Uzaru.
You didn't even scream. Oh, this looks bad. This looks real.
GamerApp5 says, GoKit 23 equals peak.
What's he doing? Could you?
There has never been anything but one
you?
single game.
Why is it going so long? And why did he do another?
Neo Arcadia says, perfection in the making.
He has turned into a giant monkey. Looks like he lost all hope. As Goku began to lose it, and with that, he began hitting everything that came in his way. a giant gold monkey started to destroy half of planet Earth population itself. Majin did half of it, but Goku, from the way he's going,
Why? Why? If we had like 8 of them, we would retire.
Legitimately, y'all. This would be our channel. Just watching his
one more.
Take the breath before the second one. Ooh.
Man, why are there
Neil
not
Lester
a
says,
million people out there? Just cause this month is just doing it for the love of the game.
He is the greatest ever.
There will never be why.
Says fucking
Why?
It's crazy.
Why is there no one else like him?
Nowhere.
Why? What makes him like him?
Yeah, why can't other people?
What makes other people not like him?
We need more Goku T23.
Man. But if there were a million like him, it wouldn't be special.
I just need 4 like him. I just need 2 other series that do what he's doing with their series.
Man.
But there will never be.
It's only one. There's no competition.
None, y'all.
Nobody comes close to this man. For the love of the game, this man's out here ooh-ah-ahing
and doing voice
Gamer F5
modulation.
says, how could you guys laugh at such peak content?
It's the music getting just put in the background and
The
then
sweeping music.
and then that breath of just
It's so audible. The
he has turned into a giant.
I hate this world that we live in.
Where this man can exist and there's only one of him.
And there's only one of them. And he doesn't have a million reviews.
There's a debate of Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
There is no debate here.
There is no debate. There is only one king.
It's crazy.
All right, we're out of here.
Can we really quick check on our 21 boy?
Oh no!
Because we have not also checked on him in a while. That is objectively good.
Oh, I misspelled it.
Okay, I'm about to say, did this channel go away? What if Deku had Venom redo?
KETALKIN says, new channel alert.
Ooh.
Just one for ooh and one for ah. With the inhale of breath for the ah.
Says, I'm here to eat ass and take names. Sun Eater, sit and spin. Yajure, time for the pink. Mina.
Check out Survivor Villain Deku AU stream next stream. Maybe.
What is it?
Priscilla says, when Midoriya didn't have a quirk, I thought he would be either a Batman or Iron Man. He was neither. This is why I love Asta more.
Asta went, my
Gamer
arms don't work, I don't
F5
give a
says, there's only one king and his name is Goku T23.
Only. Thank you, Robot Lady, for getting his name right.
You're anxious. Aren't you reading my mind? Well, considering the fuck up you just did, Hey, it was not. Oh, yes, it was. Don't blame.
Was that the same?
He's
Thanks, y'all.
it's the other end of the
Y'all need to
coin
get
where
So bad.
I wonder how Last of US 21 is taking the ending of My Hero Academia.
how you know what? How is he doing?
How is he doing?
But it's the other side of the coin because we can sit down and do a full T23.
Yeah.
But this is after like a sentence. It's just like, all right, whatever, man.
We
Come
don't.
on.
Yeah. There's nothing left here.
But there's nobody else like him.
And that's on the other end of it. One dude I want to see everything from, and one dude I can't stand to see one thing from.
Dumb. You let the symbiote get away. You're gonna kill him. As I should. It's bad enough that I'm here.
I don't know who's talking.
I don't know the words being said. His mic is awful. It's always been awful.
T23 would be like, oh, he'll show Frieza like, oh, Frieza said that, oh, the monkey. And he'll put, but he's just like,
Colin
Like,
Can
what?
Do Hope says, Gokit 23 is the king. Salad Cyan is a mayor. Last of Us 21 is that dude that lives under the bridge in the bad part of town.
I would
Does he have a P.O. box? I will send him a mic. Please.
something. Because T23 have a P.O. box. I'll send him like $40 in cash for all of our laughs.
More of me.
What did he just say? What?
One more time.
More of me.
One of me?
More of
man?
me? More of me? You Can Breathe Fire is one of the greatest things. You can breathe fire in episode.
I'm here. More of me. He
He's worthless.
It's horrible.
He's the worst.
It's horrible. And then you got T23 out here shooting. He's the month in Kuroko no Basket where he can't miss. Just threes from all the way in the parking lot.
Hold me, more of me. I'm hearing more of me.
could have been. He could have been. He's a good. It does not matter.
How that pause was like 8 seconds. What are we doing? What's going on here? Why? He's been doing it for so long and he still has 8-second pauses between sentences. And it's not like he's adjusting his voice any.
Oh, he's so mad.
It just this guy makes me mad. Where I'm smiling all throughout T23. This guy's just like, why are you doing anything that you're doing? Nothing makes sense.
Cotton Candy Hope says, this dude is writing the script in his left hand as he's recording.
Neither of them quality. He's just writing with his left hand and drawing with his right. And neither of them quality. Y'all, that is one of my favorite lines in all of her visiting. Horikoshi's just writing with his left hand and drawing with his right, and it doesn't matter because neither are of quality. Every time I hear that, I start dying. I can't get through it without laughing. It's one of my favorite lines in all of her visiting. Maybe in my life, it's one of my favorite lines. Yeah, we're out of here. This guy he sucks. He stinks. We're not switching back to nothing.
GamerF5 says, please switch back to our Lord and Savior Goku G23.
For the love of
Oh, Corey, you just missed it. We just had T23, and it's one of the
Chris the Chump
funniest
says,
we've laughed.
Good stream. Be easy.
You missed it. You missed it. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Yeah. Shove off. Did we
coming to these?
Are we doing that Mark video next week, or are we doing the My Hero? Because reasons.
Leo Luster
we
says, these guys can't get into Last of Us 21. It's inaccessible.
That is inaccessible. I will
Inaccessible.
accept this is inaccessible.
Yeah, I think we said the week before the DSP one. So that would be so next week is Mark, the week after is the My Hero, and then the final week is Phil. Yes, this is a pseudo My Hero Academia month.
Yes.
At least on the stream side. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. We're out of here.
Man. One day.
One day.